Ouch. Ooh. I hate to be a global bug, wouldn't you? Oh, grab that. Here, I'll put it back up. There he is, McToon, or Eric. Uh, yeah, I want to, just research him. We'll see if we can find out more about him. I think he's a paid shill, and he works for the government. He was in the he works for basically computer programmers and the Canadian government. So, and I think he actually went up there and met Mikey and did a show with him. So, bad bedfellows. And just to answer David Banner, his thumbnail read last night. It was 1,200 and 4,500 that I owe somebody. The only thing I got from my GoFundMe, and this is it right here. It's 4,634. That's what I have there. Period. So yeah, and I have like 29 almost in there now. So I got a loan. I'm gonna replenish it back up to 46. Keep it in the bank. Yeah, I know. It doesn't surprise me neither. I'm not going to get mad at him. I'm not going to ad hom him, talk shit about him. I know he's over there lying about it, basically, by even making the thumbnail that even says that. That's insane. But I'm going to review a video that Brian put out before PJ goes on. And I got my admin verification so I can collect my, what do you call those things? The GoFundMe's everybody sent me and the ad revenue that I've got from them. I think there's like altogether it's like $80 now. I need $20 more to reach the threshold. It's $100 threshold. So I'll collect that. I'll put that in the savings account too, just to pad it. But me and JJ were looking at there's a trip to the mainland supposedly for 8 days, and it's during the solstice, I think, and it's only like $13,000 for a trip down there. That's what it said on this website. So I'm going to check into that and see how that pans out. And I'm going to put it to David Banner. Hey, dude, if you said, like you said, you were all for me going and you are not in bed with the TFE people, you don't want anything to do with them, you want to debunk the crap they did, come with me. Just saying, dude. Just come on down. Do a GoFundMe yourself. Raise some money. Come on, go to Antarctica. We'll debunk the 24-hour sun in Antarctica on the solstice. We can do it hand in hand. I'm talking to you, David. You can listen to this. You don't. I'm pretty sure you've got some trolls listening. So, and everybody over here goes over your channel. If you see him, pass the word along, dude. You have an open invite. I really do. I didn't do any of this for any nefarious purposes. What happened with the GoFundMe was not done on purpose. You got to try to paint the worst picture you can on it because you're like basically like a politician, from what I can tell. You act like one. You do smear campaigns. Hey, Heron, how you doing? So, I mean, that's what politicians do. They run around doing smear campaigns against their opponents. I'm not running for office, dude. I don't care about it. I just want to put the truth out there. And what we saw at TFE is not the truth. That's my rant about it there. I got nothing else to say. I did get approved for a $5,000 loan. I'm going to, me and Rhonda got some other things we got to do that are out of our purview. We're not going to dip into our savings for that shit. That's for 5 years from now when I retire. And her too. She's already invested half of her stuff anyways. She collects glass, dude, like uranium glass, all you name it, dude. It's all kinds. She's gonna be doing a storefront with what's the name of that company? eBay. Yeah, she's gonna start selling on eBay, and she's gonna set up a website where she can do it. I'm gonna help her do that too. So she's taken half of her retirement she's got, and she's investing that so she can actually make enough to actually live off of. Because there's no telling what they're going to charge for shit in the next 10 years. No telling if the government's going to be around in the next 10 years. And I'm 5 years away from retire myself. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that, Heron. Nice to see you, and David and Dick. Well, I don't really care about the haters. I'm just addressing what they're accusing me of. It's just nonsense, dude. That whole thing when McToon showing up at Regina, dude. We looked over at our sobs. He was actually there. That guy Eric Benson, yeah, he was in Regina. He was talking about what he was up there. Like he made a comment on a memorial or something in Regina. He was actually in Regina when he posted that on LinkedIn. Yep. Yes, they have cooties. So without further ado, I want to take a look at one of Brian Logic's videos. He's talking about solar noon. I don't think that I think solar noon is a key to how Greenwich keeps people in the dark about where the sun is for the most part. I mean, nobody at east longitude and latitude, especially on the global grid, is accurate. I've tested that out myself. I watched the sun at 1 o'clock be quarter way half across the sky. Well, it was like 1:30. It was no, but it appeared at solar noon to me, but it was not directly above where I was at. It was off to the left. So I don't think any of the time zones are actually accurate, especially east to west. From north to south, when it reaches its apex, I think it's set up like that on the global grid. But I'm pretty sure if we actually just get an accurate time and we get a solar noon for each place, you would actually probably get more of a correct time. It seems a little skewed. And I think the clock's fucked up, especially the time zones too. Let's grab Brian's logic. It's called Globe Solar Noon Issues Part 2. So let's see what Brian has to say about this. And PJ's going to be on in the next hour 20. So I'll be over there. And just to let everybody else know, I did get my Google Ascent code so I can collect Google money. I can take some of this money away from these Jews. I mean, the owners of Google. Let's pull Brian up. I guess he did a part 1. Well, I'll go look for it. Let's see. Got 129 views on. That's not bad, especially for people that are shadow banned. Let's see. He even did something on the Great Circles too. That's what I'm touching on now, because that's part of the issue. If they're not really great circles, they don't cut through a sphere with it. I keep getting ads from Temu. Should you buy anything from Temu? I don't think so. Let's see if there's a part 1. I think there's a part 1 down here. Let's look at the part 1 first. Don't put the horse before the cart.
Video is going to take a little bit of explaining.
Okay, he's going to have to explain it to you. But I guess there's some kind of issues with the solar noon on the globe. Why, you need some money, Lord Racer? The last bit of money I donated was to Sandy and Saab. I did $20 a month. And I gave Flatsoid $2 for somebody to get a membership. So I'm sure she will. She's funny, isn't she? Yeah, actually, I found out I have a 710 credit score. I thought since I filed bankruptcy, it was like in the dirt, but no, it's climbed back up. So I actually do have credit. I went and applied for like 3 or 4 different loans. They told me they were going to give them to me, but they haven't given them to me yet. And my bank actually sent me a letter, and they couldn't obtain my credit score, is what they told me. That's really weird for a bank that I bank at. And it took me like 10 minutes to find my credit score. So I'm going to talk to them, get them to redo the loan. There's no reason with a credit score like that for such a small loan. I just need to put 16 more hundred back in the savings account. That's about right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little less than that actually. Well, they gave me 3,000, but yeah, 1,600 or a little more, like 16, 1,700. But uh, I'll get in touch with JJ and we'll do a stream and we'll go over the Arctic trips that I can find. There's some that were like 20,000, 15,000. There were 8 days, and they said to go to the mainland. You go to the South Pole base. Those they weren't available earlier, and the one that went straight to the South Pole like that was like 75,000. That was nuts. All right, let's see. What is this? Okay, it's like a chart. These are probably the time and date for solar noon, probably in certain places. Well, let's hear what he's got to explain. If you don't mind the accent, he's Irish, thick Irish accent. Brian's a good guy to a point. He's a really good, actually pretty decent, yeah, as far as I can tell. He's a son of a surveyor.
Video, it's going to take a little bit of explaining, but I don't think it should be too long. This is part two to the global solar noon issues video I last brought out. So I linked this in as a pinned comment in on the comments on that video, and I'll throw that video in here as a linked comment as well. In a linked, or sorry, in a pinned comment. So a pinned comment. Sorry. So right. The responses from our opposition concerning that issue, which was, I pointed out that at 11:50, around there, 11:54, at the same time as solar noon in Greenwich, the sun was 180 degrees south, right?
Whoa.
But at their claimed fantasy South Pole, it's shown 195 degrees south-southwest, right? And it was pointed.
No, it should be directly over them in Greenwich in their solar noon. What time of the year was it? Let's see. January. That's winter. So I don't know if it's supposed to be. Is that January? I can't make it any bigger. That's as big as it gets. I think I'm going to screenshot this and zoom in on it. I'll do a comparison.
Pointed out to me, right? Because this was actually made sense because of the globe bullshit, but also made no sense. It was right to me that their claim fantasy South Pole and Antarctica doesn't adhere to Greenwich meantime. It right now the North Pole and all that area that adheres to Greenwich Mean Time, but the South claim fantasy South Pole, right, the thing that doesn't exist, that adheres to New Zealand Standard Time. Why the hell would they be going with New Zealand Standard Time? It makes no sense for the fantasy South Pole, right, to adhere to New Zealand Standard Time. If right, other than
I can hear it now. The excuses are it's political. It says December. Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet. I was going to pull it up. Let's see. I did clip it. But the solar noon should be. It should be in the north in December. It should be lower to the south. So that makes sense to me, I guess. If it's circling the north, I don't think it goes as far as they say it does. I think that the angle to the sun changes, and I've heard that this in celestial navigation. Once you go up higher, the angles to the stars stay the same. I guess to the sun too, but I mean, if you're up at a certain height, it's going to be at a different zenith to you. You'll have to take an elevation angle to look at the sun. Is it the same angle you take from the ground? I don't have to look into that. That's what I've heard. Later in the day, it's probably further away, so the angle will change.
Just to confuse matters. And more than that, they adhere to daylight savings time because New Zealand adhered to daylight savings time. So on the 16th of December 2024, which was summertime south of the equator, New Zealand was adhering to daylight savings time. Now, daylight savings time, as I have shown, and not just demonstrated, but shown with official statement, is purely political. It is a add-on of an hour that doesn't exist.
Time zones are too.
You cannot add in 1 hour that doesn't exist, because at that point you're saying there's more than 24 hours in a day. You're saying there's at least 25 hours in a day. There isn't one day.
Thank you.
Right, is broken up into 24 hours, 15 degrees per hour, making up 360 degrees, which is 15 degrees per hour is the average of longitude, is the average for based off of a full 360 degree solar day. But the sun doesn't always do 15 degrees per hour. Sometimes it does a little less, sometimes it does a little more. The point is that the sun is not always moving at 15 degrees per hour.
There's another problem for the globe right there.
So you have,
if we're spinning at the same rate constantly, why would the sun not be right on time? You know what I'm saying? Could be.
Have solar time, which is purely based on the solar noon of the sun, and then you have standard time, which is based off of an average of the sun's movements or positions, right? So solar time is when the solar noon is. Then you have standard noon, which may or may not be the same as solar noon. So in London on the 16th of December 2024, solar noon was at 11:54, 11:55 in the morning, right? But noon was at 12 o'clock. Now sometimes solar noon is more than 12, sometimes less than 12, but standard noon, right, based off of, right, which is standard time, is always 12 o'clock, right? It's a way of making it easier altogether to deal with a day and a week and blah, blah, blah time in general, right? Point being is that solar time, standard time are the only things that exist and actually mean anything. Because standard time is used all the time for navigation, military, just general, your wall clock, standard time, your watch, everything is standard time. Standard time is Greenwich, these days UTC, formerly Greenwich Mean Time, right? And even with UTC, there's a few places like Spain and that don't adhere correctly to UTC. Like Spain are in the same time zone, have put themselves in the same time zone as Germany back in World War II time because they thought Germany was going to win. Right? Franco or whatever did that. And they never took themselves back out of it. But technically they're in the same time zone as London, not the same time zone as Berlin. We can do that. But there's a few niggly bits like that. But generally UTC time is based off of longitudes, right? Now, why am I saying all this? Because this is the Fantasy South Pole on the 16th of December, 2024. 1 second. Now, our opposition came back to me when I put it out the video. Now, I made no claims in the last video. I was just pointing out some issues, right? Now, our opposition came back to me as it knew they would in the comments, and they all acted as usual, very arrogant, and acted like they knew everything that was going on. But they were saying to me, "You adjusted the time you adjusted the time, and that's wrong because the correct time was 12:55, just as it shows here. That 12:55. That's the same time as solar noon in London, right? And it's not, because New Zealand Standard Time is 12 hours ahead of London. The standard time.
Whoa.
Right? That means New Zealand Standard Time correctly, right, is 11:55 on the 16th of December 2024 when it's solar noon in Greenwich.
Like Swiss cheese, dude. There's holes in it.
This 12:55 is an add-on of daylight savings time add-on that doesn't exist. So they were trying to say to me at 12:55 in the Fantasy South Pole, at the Fantasy South Pole, that is solar noon for them, right? Which is wrong. That is not. For a start, if anything, it would be 11:55, but that's also wrong, right?
That's close to solar noon.
Because if I take this here, right, and I bring this up 12 hours, so let's just say they're 12 hours ahead. They're 12 hours ahead of London, right? So London at 11:55 in the morning is solar noon on the 16th of December 2024. So technically, 23:55, right? If I can just get to it here. Now, that would be 23:55 would be 12 hours ahead
people.
of
What's going on
solar noon. If we're talking about New Zealand Standard Time, that would be 12 hours ahead. Now, what people could say, well, no, because New Zealand. Well, people could say no, that's wrong or whatever, blah blah blah. It doesn't fit solar noon because New Zealand Standard Time, but that would be exactly 12 hours later, right? 12 hours ahead of
Greenwich.
London Standard Time, Greenwich Standard Time, right? The time in New Zealand would be correctly 11:55, not 12:55. That's the hour added in for daylight savings. Now, daylight savings doesn't exist. It's nothing to do with actual time. Standard time has got to do with time.
Oh, that
it's
just
got to do
reminds
with,
me.
and it's based off of an average of solar time, right? Which is the only time. There is no other time. So at 11:55, right, 12 hours was just 12 hours.
Didn't they take a vote at Congress to get rid of daylight savings time for us? And it's going to throw some off, especially the towns in the South. I mean, it'll still revolve around Greenwich time, and the international times won't bother us that much, but our own daylight savings time will be gone, so they'll have to readjust all the clocks and the calendars too in the long run. Jeez. Are you talking about Brian? He's rambling a lot. But once he tripped over the fact that they use New Zealand Standard Time instead of Greenwich Standard Time. This has something to do with TFE. Time zones are fucked. Let's put it that way. They fucked them up for particular purposes because of like the 24-hour sun in the South, supposedly. But I mean, I think when it's Sam or what's the guy? Yeah, I think his name's Sam. He went through date and time and showed you how the sun doesn't work properly around the Arctic Circle for 24 hours. Their solar noons are way off. Yeah. Thank Lord. Yes, sir. How do we get rid of the Gregorian calendar? I got a 13-month calendar here, and I'm going to send the 13-month calendar I got for Santero to Chris, and I'm going to buy another one from Tamara and have her ship it to Santero. So see, she probably do it cheaper than I am. They wanted $100 for me to ship. I went to UPS, brought the little calendar in and said, "Can I ship this to France or Spain?" Sorry. And they're like, "Well, it's going to cost you $100 just to get it out the door." I'm like, they're going to weigh it and they're going to add more onto it, so it's going to be $100 plus for a $20 calendar to go across to Spain, which is insane. There you go, David. Now we're talking. Let's see if there's more discrepancies, but this is a big one, especially for their South Pole. I bet you if you look at it on a dial, we need to get a graph and put it out there and see where the solar noons are compared to where they're supposed to be during the solstice. See if it actually pans out. And they still didn't call "Hey Dude" when they were on Uguara time. Supposed to call them at 3 o'clock in the morning or something when they were going to go live, and they didn't call them. Funny, isn't it? There's something just wrong with the whole TFA thing. Let's play the rest of this out. And then, did I put Brian's Lodge? I don't know. I did put PJ's link in there. Did I? I don't think I did. It's PJ. He's doing a premiere at 4 o'clock. There's his link there. I'm going to go over there and I'll finish up with this. And I wanted to make a statement to Pourable Elk. I don't do my own research. If I was having to look up to see if Duffy was still a pastor in Wheat Ridge, I'm pretty sure he is. I've actually been to his church. I've talked to the man. I've been to his church like 3 times. I recorded 2 of the visits live. I'm well aware he's a pastor. So I was going to go back and play Brian now. The Pourable just looking for straws, grasping at straws.
Head of London, right? The heading for the sun is 15 degrees north-northeast. Now that doesn't mean anything, right? But this would be from the Fantasy South Pole. This is the way they're showing it. So that is also wrong. That doesn't fit solar now, right? So they're not fitting solar now no matter what they do, right? Because what they do try to do is if we go to 1255 here, right? They try to say 12. Where we are, but there, 1254. They will try to say that would be sun would be 180 degrees south, right? For the Fantasy South Pole, right? But that wouldn't be the same time as London. London is 1 hour prior to that. They have this add-on of an hour that doesn't exist. So there's no way that that's the right time because it's not, right? That is not the right time. But this is more to do with what I'm trying to show here with this video is the stupidity of our opposition, the arrogance of our opposition, and the lengths that they will go to confuse matters when it comes to their claimed South Pole. Because why do they have New Zealand Standard Time used for their claimed South Pole and have daylight savings added on? That can only confuse matters. When the North Pole, right, although the North Pole will have daylight savings, right, obviously anywhere north, northern Canada and different places like that, right, they might decide to adhere to daylight savings because daylight savings is just you can accept it or reject it. Right? It's up to the place. That's what it's such a joke. It's such a confusion, right? But even at this, when I show this 1254 and I show 180 degrees south, that's not 12 hours. That's still not right with London's solar time. Right, because 12 hours ahead is what they have to be, which would be 23, right? 53, 54, whatever. Are we? Sorry, 23. Right, that would be a correct 12 hours ahead of London. Right, all that aside, right, it's just a mess. But the point I'm making here is that our opposition were claiming that I changed the time by 13 hours. The whole point was I wasn't working off of standard time, I was working off of solar noon at Greenwich, right? And so, according to them, at solar noon at Greenwich, right, that this is the same at 0 degrees north at 12:55. No, it's not. There is no 12:55 if it's 12 hours ahead of London, right? If you're using New Zealand Standard Time, right? It's 11:55, which is, as I showed a minute ago, which doesn't fit anything.
Well,
number one.
Back to the daylight savings time. So that's the hiccup. I don't think it's going to be across the board. I don't think daylight savings time is going to be eliminated in London. I think we get the gist of what he's saying. So they fudge the numbers. There's no solar noon at the time that it's supposed to be at Antarctica. That's funny. Now, thanks, Ryan. Or Brian. Call him Ryan. Oh yeah. Did I show you everybody else this? Eric Benson. Good guy. Well, did she get into a crash? Racer. Haha, thanks. I'm going to add you to my driving playlist. Hey, Super, how you doing, man? And I've done my own research when it came to like the distances that I can see. I actually went out and did observations of my own. Just another one that the Pourable Elk thinks that all my research is done on YouTube. That's just funny. I've never been out in the real world. And the whole adage, I see too far, Yeah, well, I did see too far. It got my attention. Like I shouldn't be able to see that. I did a 72-mile observation on the high plains in Arizona. I got laughed at by Sean Hawkins about it. And back then, I didn't have a cell phone with me or recorded it. I just looked. I could see it. I've seen a lot of people do that, and I've seen black swans that shouldn't exist. It's over water is the hard part. But on clear days, he got mad. I guess deplorable. I gave him Dr. John Dee's Black Swan. I could set up stuff like that tomorrow. I don't have any water around me. There's a couple of lakes here, but they're not far enough to even worry about. Yeah, I think that maybe a quarter mile across to a half mile at the biggest part of them. I should go out and look for the lakes, and I'm going to go to Tesla's eventually. Uh, just an hour drive, a little more. I could do that today, actually, after PJ's interview. It's going to cost me some gas, though. I got to pay rent too on top of that. I could. What could I do to get gas money? Let's see. It's going to take me a tank, 2 tanks of gas. Probably a tank and a half. Got to make it borrow Rhonda's car. She gets better gas mileage. Hey, I want to go to Colorado. Rhonda, can I borrow a car? You get better gas mileage than I do. I can see the answer being no. I tell you, I'll probably do it next week. I get the same schedule next week, so I got Saturday off. I could do it Saturday next week. Head down to Colorado Springs and visit the museum Tesla they built for him. That'd be cool. So Brian made another video on that, so I'll watch that tonight. I think Saab's coming on too. But I did get my Ascent. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys the Ascent. It's pretty cool. I won't show you the number, but I'll show you they gave me the payment verification code so I can receive payments and get the rightful money I earn from ads. I don't know if you guys get ads or not from my streams, but I've already put it into. So hopefully, if I get, I think it's $26 more, I'll be able to pull it out. And I get $14 a month on average. So take my camera up. Oh, it's a camera. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if I show you the code itself because I've already used it. You can't even access my AdSense. But here's my AdSense verification number. Dude, there's a pin. Google's going to, so they can get the focus. Dude, these cameras are mirrored. Yep. So I get to collect money from these assholes. And I'll call JJ. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do. I want to call I got an actual contact phone number from what's their names? The GoFundMe people. I saved their number too. It took a while to dig it up. They do 3 or 4 Google searches and dig through a couple of links, but they gave me a number, so I saved it. Let's go look it up. Hey, Deplorable, how you doing? I'm glad I'm in your head, dude. You burned up your 8 lives? No way, dude. It's a lot of lives to burn up. Let's see if I got GoFundMe in here. I saved it to my. We'll do a live call with Google. Google GoFundMe and find out what got deposited and when. Let's just look it up by name. Yep, there it is. We'll put them on speaker. See if I get through to somebody.
Hello and thank you for calling GoFundMe Pro. Your call may be recorded or monitored for quality and training purposes. Please listen to the following as our options have recently changed. If
Okay.
you are a current customer and would like to talk to a care expert, press 1. If you
That
are not
sounds
a
like me.
current, thank you for contacting the customer care experts. If you are a donor or fundraiser, please press 1. If you are a GoFundMe Pro Live customer, sorry we missed your call. If you are reaching this message during our business hours, which are from 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Friday, all customer care experts are busy.
I'm gonna have
at
to
this
wait till
time.
Monday to talk to them.
Please visit our support site at support.
Okay, I'll call them on Monday. Here you go, fund me. What happened to Super? Were you in a crash? Dude? Yeah, let me put a link in there if you guys want to come up. I didn't even think about it. Well, hope you're all right, dude. I didn't know. I thought you were talking to Heron about getting in a wreck. And just for anybody else that didn't catch McToon's in LinkedIn, I got it saved here. I'm going to show you guys again. There you go. There he is. He's a military man. He works for the government. He's not who he says he is. There's a link in there, guys, if anyone wants to come on for a minute. I'm going to be on for probably the next hour, maybe. Or until PJ gets on. I'm going to go look at some more stuff, too. Yeah, I only do Google research. I get all my answers like Brenda from Wikipedia. I did listen to a great stream that Nathan did called Boilerplate is the name of it. We were at your missing chats. I think I am. Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with them. So you didn't get into a... I don't think his name's Michael, dude. It's not Canada. He's from Minnesota, but I get maybe he was originally from Canada, but he lives in Minnesota. Even it's in his bio. It's the same McToon. But this is public information. Anybody can get it off LinkedIn if you look. Let me pin that link before it floats away. No R's allowed. The R's are radiuses. Maybe they're great circle routes above a plane. Could be. I pinned the link. Ryan Kruger. Yeah, I've heard that one too before, whoever you are. I'm going to check you out, see what kind of channel you got. July 14th, 2026. So this is a sock account. ERT. Maybe one of Andrew Johnson's or AA's trolls, because they were the last people to try to come up that I wasn't expecting to. Well, at least they said they weren't accusing me, but he was going to try to explain to me how GoFundMe works. Then I guarantee you he was going to make the same offer he did last time. He's going to give me like $30,000 if I get footage from the South for him. I see that. Yeah, he did go to college there, didn't he? Yeah, that's his full page. Royal Du Canada. Yeah, I think so. I read that out. Yeah, but he's in the St. Paul, Minnesota area now, right? Yeah, that's McToon. Well, yeah, but so I was wanting to reconnect him with his long lost twin that has his own YouTube channel. Is that 11 days old? What's 11 days old? I'm missing it. What eraser? Yeah, that was 11 days old. Yeah, McSpy. Yeah, he is, dude. He's got more than one, but he's going after David Weiss too. And I think Harmon's really defensive about David Weiss. He kind of has a thing for him or something. Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? All right, going ice riding. So this is your first time on here? Is he on YouTube kind of thing, Ert? What brought you over here? The title perspective rules. Perspective does rule. They don't use perspective in any of their math. Perspective has nothing to do. It's completely optical. Everything's optical when it comes to these long range photography and stuff. But we should do that. I look at Nathan's boilerplate stream. It's really kind of enlightening in the long run. This guy's going to go see if they're lying about the globe, supposedly. But this Nathan walks you through the surface puke level that most people fall for when it comes to curvature. There is no curvature, but he breaks it down really good. I know exactly. It's the Rayleigh criterion. The angle of resolution you have, it has a distance it goes. That's where they start using the curve. You get an appearance, even over land, that it looks like it might drop in distance, but he actually breaks it into real refraction. There's sloping, drooping, a couple other ones, looming. But that effect doesn't happen all the time. That's just an optical effect. That is not the actual measurement and distance to actually, and that's what he breaks it down. Not everything is what it appears to be. Let's go to. I listened to this at work today. Let's see. It's boilerplate measurements is what something like that, which is just like a standard. Like it's an always kind of thing. It's like the same thing applies all the time, like the math. And I'll show you. I got verified too. Before I do that, let's look up Nathan Oakley. I've heard of the guy before. Nathan Oakley. Let's see how much longer before PJ goes on too. It says 4 p.m., so he'll be on in 15 minutes. I'll just show you some of the stuff that Deplorables showing me too, the way I do things. I do my own research. Got a pair of binoculars, a butterfly net, and a magnifying glass. He gets like the worst pictures of me on the days. I don't know where he gets this shit from. I mean, I've been on video for hours at a time, so I guarantee he's skimming through all my streams. But this is just one right here. Let's see. It gets worse. Like some of the pictures look uglier than hell. And he's trying to stoke the beef between me and there's me and Andrew crying because we got caught in a lie. I'm still wondering what lie that was. I have no idea. Let's get out of that page. Now we'll get Nathan up. I don't know how long this thing is. Nathan just reviews this guy's video. But he points out the fallacious reasoning and the fact that he didn't do any measurements. The measurements were all done for him and the calculations. funny. Where's the boilerplate one at? It was a live one. Yeah. We got a live one here, boys. Ah, here it is. The Globe boilerplate. That's the name of it. Mr. Oakley did a good job with breaking down how they use globe measurements. And not globe measurements, but they use flat measurements to build the globe. It's really simple. He has a golden tongue when it comes to that too. Without further ado, we could go through it. There he is. I'll show you the thumbnail too. Go back a little bit. Maybe I went past it. There it is. Globe boilerplate. 1 month ago. This was a good breakdown of this guy's observation.
But when you measure it flat, it contradicts that. I'm spitting flat facts and that. And I know you don't like that. Google Maps is flat, it presents elevation profiles like that. I'm a spitting flat earth king. Sentence has a ring, doing my own thing. If Earth was a big roast chicken, factually finger licking chicken. We just got the measurements missing. I'm spitting eggs and veggies, begging the question lesson. I've said it before, time after time. I'm the spitting flat earth king of rhyme.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a Ko-fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now we are joined by Neil, Click OK, Len, and a whole bunch of people in the Flipside Discord server. So, welcome one and all.
How are you?
Good morning.
Very well indeed, Neil.
Mike.
How are you?
Tuesday.
Everything is roses.
It is Tuesday, that's correct. I normally don't like the weekday getting mentioned unless it's me suggesting that it's Friday, woohoo, the weekend is here. But fine, yes, it is indeed Tuesday, well observed.
I think I'm going to take my one he gave me to a repair.
What we're going to be covering today is a video. I've actually prepared a show. I can't actually remember in living memory when I've ever prepared a Flat Earth Debate show. This will be a first. So I've suggested that other people come to me with videos for us to react to cold. In this instance, I happened to click on a link while I was at my daughter's art class today and saw a video and started looking at it and hacking out bits in my mind with timestamps that I'd want to not respond to because they're terrible audio or terrible visuals. But after about, I don't know, the 5th or 6th timestamp of stuff that I didn't want to include in my video, I'm like, this has just become too poor a production to want to cover in my own show. So I'm like, what else has this got going on that's annoyed me enough to, you know, now waste at least half an hour on this particular exercise? And then I found something that was quite useful, or at least I perceived it to be when I was reading or watching through it and thinking, I could actually turn this into a show because it demonstrates something that's now long forgotten but yet long established. and it reminded me of a term, it's just come to mind actually, that's used by a guy called Atomic Shrimp. Now, Atomic Shrimp is a guy that does scam baiting videos, along with a load of other household stuff and random stuff that he's interested in at any given moment. But alongside his general channel being a general channel, he's got these scam baiting videos. And when he's going through some of the responses to the people he's baiting to waste their time, he described something quite specific on one of the videos I was watching the other day, which was the term boilerplate. As soon as he said it, my eyes lit up, because it took me to a time when my brother was a printer in the 90s, or maybe even in the late 80s, when I was a very small kid. He ran a printing press. He had a shop with a printing facility. I don't know why you'd call it as a printer, right? He had a press and lots of oil everywhere and computers and photocopiers and all the rest of it. You know what a printing shop looks like. Anyway, it took me to that time because as soon as you say the term boilerplate, if you know what that means, it means that in a context of a newspaper. So I had another friend, if you like, it was actually my father's friend, but a guy called Dave Evans who used to work for the Daily Mail in Birmingham, and he would produce the plates that would go onto the giant presses that would print off all the newspapers, and it was all done to a very tight schedule. But there were certain things that were recurring ads. This is where we get the term boilerplate from, because once you've got something that's ingrained in terms of its historic significance won't change very much over time, so like a recurring advert would go onto these very heavy set plates so that they could be used again and again and again and again. And the printing industry would refer to these particular types of recurring ads, for the sake of argument, as boiler plates. That is to say, they're very heavy set iron plates that aren't going to change anytime soon. Now, that terminology turns into a way of describing something that's used over and over and over again. So when Atomic Shrimp's describing boilerplate script from a scammer, he's saying that it's terminology that's just used, print and copy over and over again, so that it can be easily understood by anybody who's using it. In legal jargon, it's the terms and conditions under a standard contract. They're so familiar to most that they're basically stamped with an A4, that's a paper size for you guys in the States, sized stamp that you just stick on, and it just remains the same for a long time. And when I saw this video, what went through my mind is, it's just the boilerplate globe claimed measurements of a sphere Earth. And I phrase that carefully, because there aren't any measurements of a sphere Earth, there's only flat Earth measurements. That's how we measure Earth.
It's delicious, David.
What I thought was, okay, although this is a lot more boilerplate, that's to say it's more generic than I've been asking people to provide me, because this same videographer, I don't know if this has come through on the live show and I've already said it in the pre-show, but either way I'll be repeating it if I have, was somebody who'd been sent to me so I could look at their use of a sextant, like an ornamental sextant that only cost $20 and wasn't particularly accurate, but got him within 20 miles of his location when he...
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
What's up?
What up? What up? What's up? Are you drinking Budweiser today?
That's a silly question, Roger, because I don't drink, remember?
Oh, yeah, but that's just reminded me of the Budweiser commercial. What's up? Remember the what was it, the bullfrogs, and then everybody else stole it off that. They started like making phone calls to their during the Super Bowl, like, what up? What up? Budweiser.
Yeah.
So are you busy today? Here, I'll put us up on screen.
I'm going to some kind of a Japanese festival or whatever, but
nice. A Japanese festival. Nice. So what are you doing at your Japanese festival, sir?
I don't know. I guess it's a bunch of stands that sell a bunch of Japanese stuff. I don't know what it is. Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, everybody's saying hi to you in the chat, dude.
I noticed that.
Super just said hi.
I know I said hi to him first.
Yeah, I think Banner went to sleep eventually.
Sleep.
Yeah, I just showed everybody how much I got in my GoFundMe compared to what he had on his thumbnail. I don't know where he got that number from, dude. This is nuts. Anything to do stream. I don't know.
Well, I don't think he needed that stream, but it's something to put on the front of it, I guess.
Yeah, everybody in there was all happy to talk to me when I went in there. I don't know what he was saying because I muted him while I was talking to them. I ain't gonna hear him like holler at me. There's no point in it.
Well, I think if it's
Well, I
anything
got
like
my
that,
ad sent.
because it's in there, it's not really because of what it shows about.
Yeah, I got my AdSense number so I can get my GoFund, like the not the GoFundMe, but the super chats and like the money that Google owes me for ads and stuff. So I it's going to be sent to me now. It's going to they'll direct deposit into the bank, and I'll just add it to the fund. And I think me and JJ found a trip that I can afford down there. Like if it's like, I think it's like 13 with tax, and it's 8 days in Antarctica. So I just got to make sure it's the right time and stuff like that. So if I can get down there, I can do a live stream. I can do 13 if I get 13 grand put together, and I can take what I have now and buy like the satellite link. So the satellite, so I can broadcast it live from Antarctica. That would be cool. And I told David Banner he's welcome to come along with me. Start your own GoFundMe, and you can come down to Antarctica. We can debunk TFV together, hand in hand. He told me he was all for me going, but it don't seem like it. Not now. Ryan, how about you? I know you're not going to go. I think I've asked you already.
I would go if I could be insured and whatever, and I knew who was going to take me. There'd have to be a lot of things.
Well, no, it's a scheduled trip for 8 days. This isn't a cruise. I'm not taking no freaking cruise.
I wouldn't be taking a cruise. I'm taking one of those next month. Or a month after.
Yeah, this is 8 day. You get to camp down there. I think this is what this was. So you get 8 days on land, and I want to find out exactly where they're taking me.
Not sure I'm ready for that.
Well, I mean, what do you need to get ready for? All you need is the right clothes, right? Dress properly. You'll be good.
I guess so.
Yeah. We're not going to Union Glacier. This is to the actual further down, probably to close to the 80th parallel or beyond it. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the solar noons are not what they should be. So I'll have to actually. I want to use Greenwich time, so I'll actually bring a clock with Greenwich time so we can time it and find out exactly what solar noon is. So we can actually tell you where the sun should be in its apex.
You're reading chat?
Ain't none of your business. Yeah. Yeah, I know everybody wants me to go to the north, but I mean,
well, I mean,
what am I going to prove in the north?
There might be something to find there. I think if you go toward south, you're probably going to run into something interesting. But I don't know that it would be something you would want, like to. I don't know, dude. It just seems like it's barren. It's just ocean. It seems like you'd be more. I don't know. If you go north islands, you can bounce off of. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think the Union Glacier is where they say it is, because if you look at the Gleasons, Union Glacier is west of there. Actually, it's not directly below Punta Serenas. It's like a 2-hour plane trip to the west.
Right.
It matches.
That would be an easy way to hide something. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Not to say that that's what they're doing, but I mean.
Yeah, they could have a longer solar noon during the solstice at that parallel. So I mean, but think about this. It's further to fly to where it shows on Gleason's, but it's almost exactly the same amount of time that it took Jaron and all the rest of them to fly down to Union Glacier. I'll show you. Scam-Arctica did it. I think it's his third. It's in Scam-Arctica 3. He actually shows you on the Gleason's where Union Glacier is on Gleason's projection. And the distance they flew was exactly that distance, but the distance is shorter on the globe to Union Glacier. It shouldn't take that long to do it. So it's convoluted. Yeah. All right. You want to watch this right quick? This is a good breakdown of this video he's getting ready to play. He breaks down all the flat Earth measurements that they have to do before they can even calculate the sphere Earth. This is pretty funny. You still here with me? Good. You got any plans today?
Yeah, like I said, I'm one of that thing.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do while you're there? Is just the wife, dude? Come on, be
Walk
honest.
away. Look
The
stupid, I
wife
guess.
wants to go to it.
Yeah, the kids and the wife want to go. So I'm going with him.
Have some sushi while you're there. I'm sure they got some.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have stands.
Well, so when you're up here, after we watch this, I'll show you the trips I was looking at. Me and JJ, and we're looking at them after a show one night. Let's see if we can find one that's got a good price on it. That like the prices change, dude. Or I'm going to different. But I mean, I guarantee you, like I checked into some of it, ALE handles all the logistics too. So once you get down there, they hold your hand. It's pretty funny.
Did the methodology of measuring an angle, minusing it from 90, you know, the usual sextant use video, but just with crap audio and crap visuals. Anyway, this guy's boilerplate exercise of trying to measure Earth's sphericity. Again, I'll reiterate, you don't ever measure Earth's sphericity, just measure Earth flat. Led me to think, well, this is actually a very concise way of kind of retrospectively reliving, if that's the right terminology, the phase that we went through about 10 years ago when we were looking at things like the Isle of Man. And we're, although it wasn't named this at the time, looking at the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculations, without recognising their use of prerequisite R values that are derived from flat Earth measurements of elevation angles to produce minimums that can be derived with that same process, minusing from 90, timesing by 60, to give you a distance along a flat surface that you can extrapolate out into a radial value to then beg the question of a sphere Earth, and then use input values, all flat, distance, elevation, etc., to suggest that Earth has curvature. Now, back then, we didn't realise all of the prerequisite flat Earth values that were being pumped in were in and of themselves. Let's put that another way. It went without saying that those values were flat, linear measurements of our surface, surveyed, topographically accurate to the millimetre. We just used them and ignored how flat they proved Earth to be by prerequisite when we were using the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator. In any event, to relive this is to assess the boilerplate rhetoric of a globe Earth proponent when they come to this particular arena. There are certain, let's call them preordained, pre-stamped boilerplate arguments that you'll hear time and time again. And that's what we're going to be covering here today. So that's as good as a preamble I can offer. Other than getting straight into the video, is anything anybody wants to add in this regard from the Discord server?
Good afternoon, Matthew. How you doing?
What's up?
What up? See, he heard the frog too. Ryan's in swirly mode. I think he's having connection problems.
Oh, excuse me. Well, Ryan's in
Are you
swirly
bonding?
mode. I heard he was going to a Japanese festival.
Yeah, that's what he said. He came back in again, so I'll delete him again.
Gotcha.
Say hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
What's up, bro? Dude,
You going to
bro.
a Japanese festival?
He's gonna take his shoes off. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
My daughter started doing that. Going to her house, you got to take your shoes off.
I'm already wearing my Crocs. So we're good.
He's prepared.
I got my little foam shoes on so that they won't know. They're not wooden, but they'll do.
Oh, you got the bike working, by the way, since we got you on the spot. The big one.
Yeah,
The Shadow. You get it riding?
it's running. Yeah, I got to get a tune-up done on it and stuff, and once I get it licensed, but I'm waiting on the pink slip. The guy who gave me the bike hasn't given me the pink slip yet, so I'm still waiting. I'm not going to try riding it until I get a license.
You can pull it over. They're going to ask you for a registration, dude. You know.
Oh yeah, well they'll at least ask me for, title or something. They'll ask me for whatever. But yeah.
Make sure you
sale and tell them that you're just testing it out and trying to fix it up. Then I'm sure they're going to give you a hard time unless they see you riding it, every day or whatever. But it's not the point.
I've heard about these third parties that you don't have if you don't have a registration license or you don't have the title to your bike or whatever or your car. They can get it. They can get your registration taken care of.
Yeah,
Y'all seen
I've
this?
heard of that.
Yeah, you can file for lost title.
Get a junk title for it. Yeah.
As long as you got a bill of sale, or you wait the right amount of time. Usually, I think it's 90 days or something, where they try to contact the owner and say that the bike's been abandoned, that you have possession of it, and possession is 9/10 of the law. So if he doesn't come get it in a certain amount of time, then I get to keep it, and then I can file the title. But that's a whole hassle. I'd rather just get permission and get it done.
Just for you, Matthew, I want to do something right quick. Check this out. Have you seen this yet?
Eric Benson, no.
No. Does it look familiar to you?
Yeah, he does.
That's Eric Benson. Huh?
Yeah, he's in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Is that where he's from? Oh, it's not too far from you then.
Yeah, Yeah, that's where McToon lives at, and he was in Regina a couple of days ago. He posted in here. So
really?
Guess who was up with Mikey a couple of days ago?
I don't know.
Eric Benson.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah, McToon. Yeah. It's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, that's fucking strange. That's worse than Jaron going to fucking Antarctica. It really is.
That's weird. Hey, Mr. Tahiti.
Mr. Tahiti.
Yeah, Mr. Tahiti's in here. Mr. Tahiti. I call him Mr. T for short. Don't mess with my fool. Remember that? Who's Murdoch? Who's Base? Yeah. Who's Hannibal?
Be the pilot. I want to be the pilot.
Then you'd be Murdoch. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being the pilot. Let us know when we get to our destination how much curvature you got to navigate over.
You gotta keep the wings.
Oh yeah.
What's that guy's name? Malibu Mike or something like that? He's like the Epstein, the guy who looks. Yeah.
I can't remember. It's not Malibu Mike. It's Panama Pete. That's it.
Yeah. Panama Pete. It looked like
he does look like
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric was the Panama Pete of McToon.
Yeah, there you go.
That little ID.
Yeah,
AJ thinks there's two of them for sure. He says there are. I think he does makeup. That he's just changing character, dude. But he works with the special forces, and he went to school in Canada. He's a military boy. He works in Intel. Yeah, weird.
Special forces. Special.
Oh yeah. Better
on the sound back. Sorry about that. I've been goaded. Poor Mikey's live right now.
Is he? Aw.
Says I've been goaded. Yeah, I guess he's probably been goaded by. I wonder why.
Did you see Jim Anus' little clip he just made of him just recently?
Poor Mikey. I feel bad for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, after he badmouths everybody behind their back and talks shit about him, claims he's the titan of flat Earth. Yeah, yeah, I feel bad.
But that's okay. That's all right. We'll let him think that.
Okay. Yeah, just keep him, coax him along. Like it's all right.
Self-appointed, self-appointed. But yeah, okay. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's just a little eccentric, He's a little full of himself, but he's kind of cute and kind of interesting too. Like there's parts of him that I like, there's parts of his personality that I really enjoy, but other parts just get on my nerves, It's like, come on, dude, like why the paranoia about everything?
Yeah, but I mean, having McToon show up and do a live stream with you, there's something wrong.
Is that what he's doing?
He did that already, too. Last week when McToon was in Regina. Mm-hmm.
Real smart.
No, I want to call him Eric now. So, hey, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird, ain't it? So I found him.
Yeah. Kind of entertaining.
So I found his LinkedIn profile, so he put it on the show last night.
Awesome.
Called me yeah, I know. He thought it could be McToon's twin, He wanted to get him in touch with
Give McToon a little bit more time. He's losing his air pretty quick now, too.
What did it say, New Hampshire?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. So that might be Minneapolis McToon.
Yeah, but I mean that's where he supposedly resides.
I got
think it's
family
where
in
he's
Minnesota.
supposed to be.
That's what's weird is I got family in Minnesota. I'm sure it's nothing to do with him, but you know.
And Mr. Anderson, go to the end of the hallway, take a left.
I've seen a lot of different names put out for him. That's just one of them.
Well, his name ain't McToon. I can tell you that.
No, not McToon. It has not, and it's not the other one that you've been told either.
No,
That
but
was
I'm pretty
the one
sure. I
that's
think we
fake.
found. I think we found the real name. It's Eric Benson.
You can create fake identities all over the internet, and then people can just find them and go, "Oh, look, this is so and so. Look, this must be his real name." You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not that smart. It's not that hard to trick people.
Ask Karen; she'll send you his profile.
Well, yeah,
She's
you could
got-
pull him up in real life if you wanted to, but then that's probably going to cost you a couple bucks, you know, for on an app or something. And then they're going to be watching you in case you do something to him. That might be, you know, that's the whole idea of it. Right?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. She sent me his profile. I'll send it to you. I'll just text it to you.
Oh no, I think I've seen what you're talking about. I think I've seen a write up on just about everybody in Flat Earth and the other arguments as well.
That's the old one, dude. That one's not him. This is him. I'll send it to you. Hold on.
Because I know Witsit's name is really Witsit. No, he didn't lie about his name, but
Ryan,
I'm
your
not sure.
Honda, bro. How many CCs is that Honda? That
Yeah,
Shadow.
that's a good question. 750, ain't it?
yeah, it's 750.
It's a V twin. I guess it is, right?
Yeah, they all are, I think.
Okay, Ryan, I sent it to you. So
Is
you
it
can look
chain
at it.
drive?
Yeah, it's changed.
Chain.
Shaft driven. I don't have problems with those things, dude. If
No,
you
I was really
misfire,
shocked once I got the carburetor cleaned out. I was really surprised.
Yeah, that shaft drive is the way to go. But is it fuel injected or is it a carburetor, right?
It's carbureted.
Nice. What year?
I think it's a 2010 or 11 or something, 12 or something like that. I forget
Nice,
now.
man.
I haven't seen the title yet, but I'm going by what was on the body, you know, by the number. Number.
Right.
I think that's what it is. It's like a 2010 or a 2000 or something like that. It's not very old. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem old, but of course that's because I'm old and 20 years doesn't seem like a long time. To me,
it's
so,
not that long of a time.
like a 20-year-old car to me is not an old car. It's just barely getting broke in. You know what I mean?
My dad had a CB 500 with the V twin that set like in the middle, and he had a shaft driven one. And one of them, when you rev it up, it would go side to side. It would pull the bike side to side because it had
Did he
the
have
V
a Moto
twin on it.
Guzzi, dude? Wait, he had a Moto Guzzi? Was it a Moto Guzzi?
No, it's a CB 500. It's a Honda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They had
Mine's
the
the
V
same.
in the middle, and it was straddle over the bike. It had like a V went straight in front. It wasn't side.
Right.
As Harley Davidson has the patent on that.
Pen tool. Oh boy, you bought a pen tool. Mikey bought a pen tool. Can you believe that? Or that does.
All right, well, I'm gonna play the rest of this. Have you watched this one?
Yeah,
FED?
it's interesting. I haven't seen it, no, but
Yeah,
I
he
was,
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just
You were
listening to what he was clarifying. You don't measure the curve of the Earth, and he's
No,
talking about
you use rise, rose, of run is how you deviate.
rise of a run. Right.
Let's take a listen.
Roll
Pretty
that
good.
beautiful
I like
footage.
All right.
I'd like to encourage the Discord server. And in vain. No, fair enough. In that case, what I will do is just shout out the videographer himself, as he's, for a change, a smaller videographer than myself. This guy's called Skybug.
Yeah.
He's only got a couple of thousand subscribers, but more power to him in terms of his videography success. I wish him all of it. But hopefully I'll dig out a link for it at some point and actually promote him via the live stream. So if you're watching this live, you'll probably see a link going by, unless my moderators beat me to it, to Skybug. So you can actually go and let him know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, with a polite comment that doesn't immediately get eradicated by either the YouTube algorithmic censorship bots or indeed the videographer Skybug himself. So don't be passive-aggressive if you're one of the flatties addressing this fairly humble, seemingly innocuous guy. So So he's not, as far as I know, an anti-glober, although he may have engaged in that rhetoric at some point, I'm sure, based on the videography that he's producing. Nevertheless, just wish him all the best. You may even want to subscribe to him if you're one of my bull-believing subscribers who's watching this and hearing me shout out this guy. Maybe you want to subscribe to him. Either way, regardless, friend or foe of me, please let this videographer know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a polite comment that he won't immediately remove, or indeed will get immediately hacked out by YouTube because it's got foul language or whatever it is that you may do. But yeah, his name's Skybug, and the video is called Measuring the Earth - the Lighthouse Method. So that's the name of the video. Hopefully somebody will be able to dig that out. If not, I'll dig it out towards the end. Okay, let's get into it.
If I wanted to know the size of the Earth, I could jump on Wikipedia and have an answer in seconds. Or I could just Google it. And if I didn't want to go online, there are thousands of books which would tell me. But what if they're not telling the truth? You know, what if they're lying to us? So
there's his first mistake. What he said just right here. He said, I could go to Wikipedia, but he actually does. It's really funny. Yeah, let's get back to it.
I'm going to find out for myself. In this video, I'm going to measure the size of the Earth, and to do that, I need to head for the coast. I'm going to measure the Earth by measuring its curvature, how tightly the surface bends. And to do that, I'm going to use these.
Okay, well, there's the first point of interjection there. How much do you want to bet he does not measure curvature? What odds do you think? Should make up some numbers just for comedic effect.
1,000,000 to 1.
And you know the game. You've been to this casino before, sir. I may have to ask you to leave.
And one of those. I'm at Nash Point Lighthouse.
Okay, well, let's make it a different game, right? Well, let's imagine there's two columns, right? On this column, we're going to have flat Earth measurements. And in this column, we're going to have globe Earth measurements. So we'll say, let's make the awooga sound when we hear a globe Earth measurement, and we'll hear a ding ding when we get a globe Earth, a flat Earth measurement. So we'll hear awooga when we get a globe measurement, and ding ding ding. So you get points if you actually call out either. So let's see how we get on.
House on the south coast of Wales between Cardiff and Swansea. It was built in 1832 and has been protecting shipping in the Bristol Channel ever since. Well, I'm standing in direct sunlight, but already that light's on. It's late afternoon. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to head to the far side of the Bristol Channel over there, across the water, and I'm heading for the North Devon town of Ilfracombe. It's 28 miles, or just over 40 kilometres away.
I will say, I'm not...
Ding, ding.
Oh, I got a ding, ding, ding already. Go ahead, Neil.
Miles.
Miles. Yeah, we've got a ding, ding, ding in the corner. He also said he's going north. Ding, ding, ding. Got 2 points. Who's going to keep tally? So let's hear some volunteers. I want somebody to keep track of the globe Earth proofs and somebody to keep track of the flat Earth measurements.
I'll keep the globe Earth ones.
You mentioned time.
Oh, was that a ding, ding, ding?
Yeah, we
mentioned
I was
time.
going to ding ding right from the
after
beginning. He had a bunch of stuff right in the beginning, but I think let's get it more specific, because we can go time, we can go where it is. He said across or over, right?
Across and over are flat Earth prerequisites. You're absolutely right, Neil. Now, you're saying it in a derogatory tone like, man, should we be so anal and pedantic to say, over there? Well,
boys, what do you think so far?
The bell has rung. No, they're right to point it out.
I think theirs might be flat for some reason. I don't know why.
It's a three-dimensional.
But you'll see what he does with the Earth curve calculator and the Rayleigh criterion with his observation. So he does the calculations. He does exactly what he's taught. Yeah.
That's the same thing they were doing in 2016.
Yep.
2015, 2017. It's the same old bullshit.
Yeah, that's why those black swans are so important. But I mean,
they're counting on their audience to be idiots.
Yeah, just take the word. It's they don't do any research into it. Yeah. They don't try to go out and do it for them. At least he's making an effort. He went out and made an observation, but he doesn't make any measurements at all. Any measurements. He just does. Sorry, I take that back. He gets his altitude. That's the only measurement he takes. That's it. Yeah, that's that.
Oh, I see.
Dude, the Rayleigh criterion. I don't even remember I've never memorized that.
It's basically the same distance. It's the angular resolution that your eye has at a distance, or even the optics too. So it's the ability,
the nooks and the crannies and the ins and the outs of the conversation. I won't even talk Rayleigh criterion with people.
Yeah. I know it's really a tough one to go, but I mean, everything blends at the horizon, even vertically and horizontally. So it comes together at a point where you can't resolve the image. Now, the longer the zoom, the better you can resolve it. That's why I like, the black swans are doable now because we have better optics. So, yeah. But it plays a part in like doing an observation over distance.
I mean, that's a bit loose and fast. But when you do...
Say again?
No, I was thinking about I was trying to remember that formula they plug it into.
Yeah. Well, they usually they plug their measurements into an autographic view with the Earth curve calculator. it's a cartoon, basically.
1.22.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, 1.22.
That's about when you can't resolve anything too. That's why he calls it perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator. Yeah. Ryan, what were you saying?
I said that's squared to the eye level of the observer at 6 feet, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, if you are 6 feet high, yeah. I mean, if you're laying on your belly,
not everybody is, but yeah,
yeah. But he gets into true refraction too later on in this video, which I like.
True refraction.
Yeah, well, Snell's law basically.
That's like going through a medium shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Refractive index. Everybody does it. There is one. It's just.
Yeah, but the one the refracted index they use goes with terrestrial refraction, which has the 6/R involved in it. Yeah. So what they're doing is any looming or any, but I mean it's hit or miss. I guess it's like it's no Atmo day.
We're way off in the weeds.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, but we get into it here in this one though. He actually reminisces over the old FED claim.
Describing a direction, then yes, absolutely. That's azimuth, horizontal in degrees, north being the only absolute direction. You've got miles, and you had, what was the third one Adam just came up with? Distance, miles.
No, he said late afternoon. And you need a flat Earth
time.
To measure that.
Yeah,
time.
Absolutely. I was desperately thinking, should I interject to these? Will somebody else spot these? When he was describing the time of day, he's giving a period that's been explicitly extracted from measuring the sun off a flat Earth. So yeah, he's extrapolating out quite a few different concepts that he relies upon to know where he is in the day, with conceptual descriptions derived from flat Earth measurements. There's a whole bunch of them so far, but we'll take time, north or direction, and distance. So far we've got 3, right? I'll keep track of the globe. I'll keep track of the flat Earth ones. Neil, you can keep track of the globe ones, okay?
Sounds good.
By the time I get there, it should be dark. And from there, I'm going to look back across the water at this light. And that's how I'm going to make my measurement. So how's this all going to work? Well, I've got a long drive ahead of me, so I'm going to explain on the way. Never actually seen a foghorn in my life. Never heard one either. I wonder what that sounds like when it's at full blast. Are they...
Sounds like a wooga. It'll go off when you get a globe proof.
That's funny.
Yeah.
He's never...
In order to hear it, you're going to need a container.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In order to hear anything, you got to have a medium to put sound through, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right.
Hey, you found another one. There's another one. There you go. He's hearing. Yeah, Matt, you got a point.
I'm all, hey, ding, ding.
Used anymore in
Ding ding.
this day and age. Well, Ilfracombe might only be 28 miles away as the crow flies.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding.
we got another one.
That's for, what was it he said, Neil?
Crow
He
fly.
said miles away, and as the crow flies.
What's that, like a straight, flat, linear distance? Yeah, it's Euclidean. They call it the straight line distance or actual distance when they're doing topographical, very expensive surveys for logistical reasons. Yeah, as the crow flies is the colloquial terminology for a flat Earth linear distance in miles or kilometres. That's right. That'll be 4.
We're up to 4,
A
guys.
lot longer by road. Got to go right the way around the Bristol Channel. Google Maps is telling me 3 hours, so quite a bit of driving ahead of us. And by the time we get there, it should be evening, and hopefully that light will be on. The long drive will give me a good chance, though, to explain how this measurement is going to work. I won't do it now. I'm on quite narrow lanes, which are tricky, but
I mean, you've already used quite a few derivative measurement-based concepts, though, you know, literally in the preamble. Now, obviously, he's using them and taking them for granted, but he's still using them. It's just facts. There's quite a few flat Earth prerequisites. We've already listed them off. Don't have to like it, but you think the measurement will start the minute you beg the question of sphericity. That's what, in his mind, well, the measurement starts when I start assuming Earth's a sphere. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
Okay, now we're already in territory, aren't we? Dick Wayne's over here. I don't blame the Greeks for loving their balls.
Yep.
We're bonding.
We're bonding. Yeah, even along the road. He's using the Google Maps.
Yeah, it's on a Cartesian grid too. At that, you know.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
that view down with his ball. Yeah.
Meow meow. All right, that's funny. Thanks,
Gang, gang.
Dick. You made me laugh. Write that down.
Well, what
Gang,
about
gang,
all the
Dick Wayne.
distance that you're travelling around the Wrekin? Yeah? That's got terminology too. We might get there, we'll see.
once I can relax a bit, I'll explain what this is all about.
Is that somebody from Discord wanting to add something? Feel free.
Nobody?
Or was it just Mickey joining with his mic open? In any event, hello.
I'm halfway to Ilfracombe now, so probably time to explain how this measurement is going to work. I mentioned before that when I get to Ilfracombe, I'm going to look back across the water at the lighthouse. But the thing is, you can't actually see the light from Ilfracombe if you're standing down at sea level. But there's a hill in Ilfracombe, and if I
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, what was that, Neil? Did you hear something
I got
untoward?
excited and muted
Sea
myself.
level.
Sea level?
Yeah.
Well, like the measurement of the average.
Sea level. Yeah, we got that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
What was it? Yeah, what happens is I think he doesn't see it like he thought he would. But I don't know if he gets his elevation proper or not. But he does measure it. Let's see.
You know, that can explain why GPS is always a little bit wrong, because it's measuring distance. It's not there.
Yeah, well, you're adding distance if you're adding curve, aren't you? Yeah.
It's ground position.
And they
It's all
do-
linear.
Yeah, but they do add the spherical geometry into Google. Believe it or not, they do add it in there
They had traffic
on the global scale.
on the maps. I mean,
Yep. Don't
it's
ask
pretty
me why.
accurate, dude. I'm always trying to beat the time, so
Are you?
it's pretty accurate.
Maybe they add it on the global scale. Yeah, I think it is on the global scale. So, like, when you're looking at it, like from when you zoom out on Google Maps, it shows you the sphere. And when they lay the lines down, like the latitude, longitude lines over topography, they add the spherical distance over the longitude and latitude. But when you're on a local basis, I don't think they do.
They don't on the local. They can't.
No, you can't. No, it won't work.
No, it goes from the map to the imagination in Google. If you zoom out,
I
you
got
go
you.
into imagination.
Yeah, but I had guys in a Discord that were actually saying, when I zoom out from Google Maps, it's a globe. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
for real. Yeah.
That says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then no
when you
drop
zoom
over
down on
distance.
it, you're on a map.
I was playing with the elevation from shore to
Go
shore.
down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? No drop over distance.
good.
But yeah,
Yeah, sea level is a mean sea level, and that's where they take your elevation profiles from, anyways, right?
yeah.
So it all references the same mean sea level across the deck. Yeah.
Hallelujah.
I'm still looking for curvature. I don't think you ever will find. So give up on the search and just write it out. There is no such thing.
Why are you still looking?
I'm not.
No.
I think when I made that first observation in Arizona and the second one that I made in Long Beach, I'm like, there should be those objects should be well below a curve, and they weren't. So I
Yeah,
can see
man,
the whole damn thing.
I was out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico on a platform looking at and we always talked about that, dude. We always talked about, okay, I would bring it up and people would be like, it just is. That's what they would tell me. That's because it just is.
Okay.
But I would say we're on the boat, we're on the boat going from platform to platform. Why can we see that one at 20 miles away?
Let's go over and join PJ right quick. He's doing a premiere. You ready? I forgot he's going to be on at 4:00. Let's see if he's live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the fear of God, buddy. He's not going live. He hasn't premiered it yet. So let's see if he's getting ready to go up. Yeah, he's on. Cool.
Well, let's go. Are we going together?
Yeah, I can take us all over there. You can go on your own too.
Let's ride.
All right.
What channel is he on?
On his own channel, dude. He's doing a premiere. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's called The Fear of God. He's right there.
The fear of God.
The word fear being multiplied, but the thumbnail read The Fear of God. Yeah.
But is fear the opposite of love?
I don't think so. You can fear somebody you love, can't you?
The lifeline is divided that way.
Yeah, but that's from your point of view. You see it as that. That's your perspective. That's your opinion. That's all there is. Not his.
That's like your
You can't
opinion,
just claim
man.
to be right on something like that.
Everybody's got one.
Well, life isn't that simple.
Right.
I mean, who cares if Ling Ling returns the water?
No way. I forgot he was in it. Seth Rogen. No way.
Oh, look at him. There he is.
Paladin keeps the money. Has nothing to do with either fear or love.
Fear and love are the deepest of human emotions.
Okay.
Is that Donnie Darko?
Okay, that's cool. Fear, love.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, fine. But love's also a choice. Not just
I
an
recognize
emotion.
him.
Hey, Mad Mac, how you doing, man? Nice. It's obviously not about Donnie Darko. It's just because it's going on about this part to do with fear. Because it's talking about
Where's the chat
Bible
come out? I
change,
guess he
it's
did
talking
it
about
previously.
fear being multiplied in the Bible.
See the chat?
I don't know if it is, but it seems,
he's not even in
like
here.
there's a lot of residue for it. So we'll check it. But yeah, this is just kind of an intro to it.
But you're not listening to me. There are other things that need to be taken into account here, like the whole spectrum of human emotion. You can't just lump everything into these two categories and then just deny everything else.
Right, exactly.
If you don't complete the assignment, you'll get a 0 for the day.
Oh no.
Right, here we go.
Not my gold star.
Right, we are seeing the word fear being multiplied in the Bible. In fact, in Ecclesiastes 12:13, it appears the word love has changed to the word fear. Check it out.
Where's
Let's
this at?
actually get it up quickly.
I gotta see this.
Ecclesiastes in the King James Version, obviously. So Ecclesiastes 12:13.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a Mandela?
Love
Right,
has changed to
okay,
fear,
here.
whatever.
Okay. So please just let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. fear God and keep his commandments, for
Okay.
this is the whole duty of man. Well,
it's always that.
It would make sense if it was
I thought I had.
love God
No,
and
it's
keep his
always
commandments, because Jesus talks about
It's a fear,
love
isn't it?
God with all your
Dude,
heart,
the
all
fear
your
of
mind,
the Lord is the
mind, and all
beginning
your,
of wisdom.
with all your might and all your soul.
Yep.
Whatever sequence that goes in, it's that's paraphrasing, you know. So, you know, let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God. I mean, yes, it does say to fear God. Like, fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. It says to
At
fear
least
God.
PJ pointed that
Absolutely.
out.
But, and then it
Justify.
continues with, and keep his commandments. Well, when Jesus talks about the greatest commandments, love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself. So it would make sense that this should be love. I don't know for sure if it's a change, but it would make sense to me.
It hasn't changed, no.
I don't know for a fact because I don't know it well enough
I
to
remember
say
that.
that. But it would make sense with what Jesus says. It would make sense with the context of this, you know.
No, that's
so
what
yeah.
Jesus said that a long time ago.
Let her continue. Sorry, I just got straight in there.
He confirms the Old Testament.
Oh, right, I already read that bit.
I ain't buying that.
I ain't buying it.
Too many people digging for stuff that ain't there.
Dude, that's weird. That's just somebody trying to edit
So,
the
let's
text.
hear the
where I think
conclusion
that
of the
is.
whole matter. Fear God, keep his commandments for this is the whole duty of man. Obviously, it came up in here, but I like to obviously check it myself. It's always the way I better put a like on this, obviously. Anyway, thank you again, Supernatural Bible Changes, for doing this. Bless your sister. Because I know whatever she puts out, she believes what she's saying.
I want to see the evidence.
Poor thing. She done convinced herself now.
Here's a few pieces of residue for Ecclesiastes 12:13. Originally having the word love in it, you can feel the Holy Spirit. It reads beautifully now. Right, okay, let's do it.
Please love spirit.
Courage would be the opposite of fear, right?
Right, so what is this from? The Herald Statesman. So it's some kind of paper. Love God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And that is obviously taken from that scripture. So this is the whole duty of man. So they're obviously remembering this scripture because it ends up the whole duty, the whole duty of man. So they're obviously taken from this. So there's certainly people that think it is love, that it's meant to be love for sure. And this is from 1925. 1925, look.
That's a newspaper article, though, right?
Wow. Okay. Like I say, I don't know if it has changed, but you know, there is residue for it.
I should look it up in my Bible.
Again,
It
let
says
us
fear.
hear the conclusion of the whole matter to love God and
It's always said
right.
fear.
Okay, there, and that's from the Granger.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. 1894. 1894. Yeah, you can see that.
Is that a Bible?
1894, yeah. Wow. Granger 1898, same again. Granger 1891, same again. I'm just wondering if it was the same guy that was writing these. 1908, same again. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter to love
The
God.
same Rockefeller.
Commandments. So a lot of people certainly think it's love. Obviously, this is not straight out scripture, but this is paraphrased, memory versed. You know, there's definitely such thing as supernatural Bible changes. Don't care what Mind One Spirit says. There certainly is.
He's calling out one mind.
Okay. Hold on. What was that? gospel of God. The gospel of God as taught by his son, his holy son, and Jesus. Oh, by Spurlock James from a catalogue.
Yeah,
Willful
that's not the
sins.
Bible neither.
3. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Love God. Yeah, it certainly says that. Okay. Oh, hold on. What's this in it? Is this actually? Oh no, it can't be because it's. I was going to say this is in scripture, but then I read the numbers and it can't be.
No, the verses aren't that short.
It's obviously from something else. It's obviously like some kind of, I don't know, a breakdown of something, you know, from scripture. But yeah, it certainly says it. I thought because I seen the numbers, I was thinking, oh, this is scripture in the Bible, but it's not because it's not the right reference. Because it's 12:13.
We just stop it right there and take a look right quick. I'm going to look them in the NIV and see what it says. What was the verse? It's Ecclesiastes what? Let's see. 11:13. Is that what he said?
I'm breaking up. Breaking up.
I hear you.
Hello?
You can break up with me.
Hello? Hello?
Mic check. Mic check.
Matthew. Here, I can hear
Is
you.
it an echo? Oh.
No, you're good.
Which one
I'm
you gonna
looking it
check?
up now. Let's see. Isn't it? Crap. What verse was that again?
Mosquitoes are eating me alive. Let me in.
Let's see if he's got it in here.
I have an idea. On
What?
show.
Say again?
Ask Satan.
Ask Satan?
Yeah, we'll have a little skit where we ask Satan, like what he thinks about everything.
All right.
It could be funny. Think about it.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody's going to find that funny. Ecclesiastes, right? Is
Well,
what
that's
he said.
good, right?
I'm trying to remember. Ecclesiastes is next to Deuteronomy, ain't it?
No.
And you got Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges.
Look at their table of contents in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
Is Ecclesiastes around Judges maybe?
I'm right next to Judges right now. I didn't see it. Let's see. You got Ruth right after the Judges. Deuteronomy's before it. Joshua's before that. That don't mean near the Song of Solomon or Psalms.
Ecclesiastes is just before Solomon, Songs of Solomon. Just after Proverbs, it looks like. Yeah. So just
Yeah, I
after
got it.
Proverbs.
I found it. Yeah, I got it. So it was 11:13, right? That's what he said?
I don't remember.
I think it is. Ecclesiastes is not a big book, actually.
Start from the beginning.
Okay, I'm in 11
And
now.
from the top.
Let's see. 11. Cast your bread amongst the waters. As that starts. Let's make me find the right verse, though. It's 11.
Cast your bread amongst the waters. All right.
That's the beginning of the chapter. So
That's
it's
funny.
11:13.
There's still people who do that.
Yeah. They
It's
do
either
that.
or they do that, or they swing a chicken around their head.
Well, the only time I cast my bread amongst the waters is feeding the ducks when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Grandma used to do that on Sunday. She'd get all the old stale bread she had. She like take the kids out to the lake and we feed ducks.
What a picture, bro. What a picture.
It's not. Well, she would name them, dude. She'd give the ducks like a pet name. She'd have her favorites.
Of course she did, man. So I have an Aunt Myrtle, right? She's a real Bayou woman. It's like my mom was a Creole one, right? And it's her sister. So it's like they like really Bayou people. Anyway, she would call the ducks. She would say dee 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 to call all her ducks in.
Nice.
Yeah. But you want to hear my duck? You want to hear my duck call?
Go ahead.
Hey, duck!
There you go. They come running. And I want to find out what verse that is because 11 only goes to 10. So
how did it go? Well, you just do a quick search, bro, of how did the verse go. Type it in.
Let's look it up online.
Hold on. Who's saying it changed?
Well, it's just a girl that does this channel. So.
Right, but I'm saying compared to what?
She's just claiming that she thinks it changed. That's all it is.
It's 12:13. 12:13 there.
I mean, I get it. I think I actually thought they changed one too because the lion and lamb thing that got me. But that doesn't mean that I'm so convinced that my own memory didn't just forget it. Like I'm still holding out that it's probably just my own bad memory.
Yeah, the one that gets me is the serpent. I thought his head was to be crushed.
Yep. I remember that one.
No, it's bruises heel.
Yeah, hitting the serpent's crushed head.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm in 12:13 now, so let's see.
All right, what you got, Raj?
Okay, hold on. Make sure I'm in the right place. Okay, it says fear in here.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like
this is NIV. It says now all these things have been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his
okay, now I understand why they wrote fear.
Yeah, that's why Jesus said it, because he was quoting the Old Testament.
Yeah. Well, this video is almost over. Yeah, so I wonder what PJ comes to the conclusion of.
Well, it also says in the Bible that fearing the Lord is the beginning of something, doesn't it? Isn't that one of the sayings? Beginning of wisdom, yep. There you go. So I think that kind of covers it, doesn't it? That shows that the context isn't exactly what they're claiming. I mean, I'm not saying that these people are wrong or anything. I'm just saying,
dude, it's the same thing. All these prophets in the Old Testament, when they have an encounter with God, the first thing they do, they fall on their face and they say, "Woe is me! I am ruined.
Yeah. Yep.
I shall surely die."
Only seen the face of God, man, or as part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No man has seen God.
So it's natural to fear God, dude. It's natural to fear God. It's healthy to fear God.
So let's hear what else PJ's got to say. Ready?
Reference. Because it's 12:13.
So what exactly are we claiming here? Claiming that somehow they changed the translation in a new Bible or an old Bible? That's what I get.
Yeah, I think it's one of the old Bibles because this Bible I got here is fairly new compared to the age of this one.
So they're saying that their own Bible got changed.
Amazing residue, however. Keep in mind there may be other changes going on, but we can clearly see the verse reads much better now and matches the teachings of Christ. Right. Certainly matches the teachings of Christ. The greatest commandments.
Those are two different things.
Jesus taught that the greatest commandment was to love God with all our heart and our soul, not to fear God, but to love him. Absolutely, that's what Jesus taught. Yes, the Bible talks about fearing God, but Jesus did teach of God with all our heart, all our soul, all our mind.
Yeah, but he also said fear in there too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Even himself, bro. When they came to arrest him at the garden, he said, "I am he." He said, "I am," and they freaking fell back on their knees. The people who were coming to arrest him.
Oh yeah.
They immediately were filled with fear, and Jesus had to calm them down. He had to calm them down to let them arrest him.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the rest of this. Let's see.
All right.
But, however it goes. He certainly does do that. It would make sense. But we are to fear the Lord. It says fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. But, you know, if there is some kind of agenda by Satan, whatever, changing scripture, whatever, then yes, fear. He's got.
Ryan, are you saying something?
Yeah, you can't hear me. What I was saying was, I said the AI got it right this time because I asked it, what did Jesus say was the most important rule? And it says the core answer is simple. Jesus said the most important rule is to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind and strength. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. Bingo.
Yeah. But I mean, you're looking at Ecclesiastes 12. That's what the verse is in question. You know,
well, here it says it comes directly from the exchange reported in Mark 12:29 through 39, where Jesus is asked which commandment matters most.
Yeah, I got that, but that wasn't changed. That's not the change. The change is in Ecclesiastes.
I know. I'm just saying that doesn't this confirm that even that change doesn't necessarily make any difference? Because
I don't think it's changed.
Still there.
Yeah.
It's
Matthew Fro.
That hasn't changed.
No, the Ecclesiastes hasn't changed. I don't think. Yeah. I think that's somebody's interpretation of what they thought it should say.
Exactly. Your Bible changed word.
It didn't.
And it wasn't supernatural because I can't see it how that would happen. It's either your memory is wrong or something else is wrong. It doesn't make sense. Why would somebody sneak into your room and change your Bible?
In this example, it didn't.
No, there's other examples though, which are in question. All right,
right. Not translational errors, right? They're not necessarily like changes that are permanent. Like people make mistakes. There's typos. There's people that don't look up the verse when they add it to something that they do online or whatever. I mean, don't we make mistakes a lot when we're just in a hurry? You know, like
no, but I mean, I don't think the Lord's Prayer was. I remember it the way I remember it, you know, and it was. It said,
and that's a completely different thing. When you memorize something, yeah, that's a little bit different. But you know, it's like. Am I willing to jump out there and say that, okay, I think that now there's some supernatural force that goes around changing everything? I don't know. Or that there's some kind of matrix where that can be changed. I don't know if I believe that. I really don't. I think that would take away from reality being real. And then I would have to start second guessing everything in my life. Everything I saw, everything I heard. I mean, why not? Because it could be all fake, right? So that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I don't think God would want you to think that. I think that's deceit.
Well, I kind of get what you're saying, but there are people who actually notice these changes. Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure, but you know, even Keith. That's a good question.
When they're changing something, I mean, if they can change something you own, you hold in your hand, they can change it while you're holding it in your hand. How are you going to go against it? You can't, right?
I don't know. It's a good question. But there's a lot of people who think that this is happening all the time.
But what difference does it make?
I don't know. Good question. If it's
is it just about abrasiveness and making you want to get angry and say, no, that's not right. I want to make it. It needs to be changed back. Where you know, it's like, come on, what are you going to do about it? Like, mark it out in your Bible and write the name next to it, and then would they change that too?
Well, people
right? If you wrote the Bible out by hand, freehand, would they be able to change that too? Or can they only do it to text that's been printed? See, this is the kind of question I ask, and then they always go, "Oh no, it doesn't work like that." I'm like, "Yeah, it would have to." Come on now.
Don't drive yourself mad with it, dude.
Well, no, I'm not driving myself mad. This is why I just ignore it, and that's why I just make fun of it because it's silly, right? You're talking about something that you can't confirm completely because you don't have an exact copy. And if somebody could change your copy, then they could deceive you. There's really nothing you can do about it. Like, how do you know if somebody's deceiving you if they keep changing the actual supplies and the data that you're looking at in order to get your answer? You get what I'm saying? That's what you're saying when you say that. You're saying that's possible.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I mean, with the internet, they're going to be able to change everything. Eventually, they're going to get rid of print word.
Well, yeah, that's why they digitized it all, so they could change it. But how you could change it anyway is just changing books, just like what they're doing. Of course, they're changing the translation. But does that mean that the Bible's not valuable or that it's not true? No, it doesn't. Because usually those changes really don't affect the context. But I guess there are a few examples of it. But I'm saying I think that you can still find your way to God, right? You'll still find your way to understand the
He's
truth.
with us now.
You know, like even if those things do get changed. So to me, it doesn't really make it that big a difference. Now, when it starts changing something so much that, you know, like we start having two sides of, like two Baptists, everybody starts splitting off into that would start to freak me out. But
that's a good question. I'd like to see that happen. Let's play the rest of PJs. Right.
And loads of fears to make it think as though like to be intimidated by God all the time, to be scared, like cowering from him and not coming to him openly and stuff like that, We can certainly see it if that's happening. Next up, I would like to show another fear change, which is even more blatant and ridiculous, as you will see. Okay?
Okay, let's see this one.
Let's get whatever scripture up so we can check it ourselves too.
Where we're going next, I don't know.
I feel like I need to grab a pad and pencil. Psalm 19:9.
And now, how Psalms 19:9 reads today in the KJV. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. The fear of the Lord is clean. That's where I would have thought it would have been the word of the Lord. The love of the Lord is clean or pure. Let's get it.
I think it says what it's supposed to.
Like I say, I'm not sure of it. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
These are changes, but it seems to make.
What you say, Matthew?
No, it says what it's always said. Dude, the fear of the Lord, it's like it goes hand in hand with worship of God.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. I'm sorry. Read the Bible. I didn't make it up.
Which Psalms is this again?
19:9.
19:9.
I'm trying to go there too. Sorry for the background noise. We're getting ready to go to a party.
You got kids there, don't you?
Yeah, we're getting ready to go to a party, man.
Whose party is it?
It's gonna be my sister's 50th Barbie party.
Nice. God, that's gonna be fun, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. My Prince 19. I gotta use a magnifying glass for this damn Bible. I wonder how Barbara read this thing. With a magnifying glass, like I'm doing now.
Yeah, if you see Barbara, tell her I said, "What's up?"
I don't know where she is. They said she moved. I haven't been over to her house neither in a while.
So I got right here. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true. They are righteous altogether. That's it.
Yeah, it says the same here. The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. Yeah. That's what it says.
So 19:9, fear. I got a little study Bible here in the little footnotes. That word fear in 19:9, this is what it says.
Okay.
It says that this is not technically a word for word. Like, this is not technically a word for the word.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
But it does reflect the reality that Scripture is the manual workshop of God.
Read it one more time. I want to get it clear.
Okay. It says this is not technically a word for the word.
Okay.
But it does reflect the reality that Scripture is the manual for the workshop of God.
Wow.
So I guess we would have to, for the context, we'd have to read. Want to just read Psalm 19?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you ever consider that God changed it on purpose?
Psalm 19, the works and the word of God, okay? For the choir, a psalm of David. So David wrote this. It says, the heavens are telling of the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hands.
Oh, that's the 19, right?
Mm-hmm.
19:1?
Yep.
Yeah,
I know that one.
You want to hear something else? In
Dave.
Proverbs 1:7,
Let me
it says,
Ryan, I'm
fear of the
reading
Lord
something.
is the beginning of knowledge.
It does.
Ryan, you cut him off, dude. Give him a second. Let him finish it. Go ahead.
Verse 2, day to day pours forth speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech nor are their words, their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their utterances to the end of the world. In them he has placed a tent for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber. It rejoices as a strong man to run his course. Its rising is from one end of the heavens, and its circuit to the other end of them. And there is nothing that is hidden from its heat. Verse 7, the law of the Lord is perfect, restoring the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true, they are righteous altogether. Verse 10, you want me to keep going?
I think we're good. I think we got the context.
This
is a great flat earth verse, chapter, actually.
Oh, dude, the bell was ringing. I could hear Neil in the background going ding, 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 ding.
Okay, let's hear what Cookie had to say. He's going to read Proverbs, right?
Yeah, I said in Proverbs, it says numerous times that fearing the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, and it's important. So, but I think there's also another thing that Jesus says, and he says something about that to fear the Lord is to follow precepts, is to love the Lord, right? So Jesus connected the two by saying that. I think that's why
fear and love
I'm not
is the
worried
same
about
thing.
anything.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I think in that last little section we just covered, there was another verse that was mentioned that wasn't from Ecclesiastes. I thought it was something from the New Testament. That was where Jesus actually uses the word fear.
I think it's Matthew, right?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Well, let's hear what PJ's going to say next. If he's following the same line we are.
Sense. Psalms 19:9. And I definitely know that supernatural Bible changes has been happening. I observe it, so it's happening. Right. Check that. Right. So, fear of the Lord is clean, right? Okay, it says that. Enduring forever. Forever. Okay, it must have been 2 words back then. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. Okay, it does say that. Let's check other ones actually.
No, I just read the NIV.
Fear of the Lord is clean. Oh, it says it in New King James too.
Mm-hmm.
Enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous together. So if it is a change, it's changed over a few of them. A lot of them. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The rules of the Lord are true and right. So it is.
I think it's
a good amount of them.
Be honest with you.
I didn't catch that, Ross.
Oh, I think the girls grasping.
Oh, the fear of Yahweh.
I do too.
Yeah.
Is clean. Okay. So it is over a lot of them. CSB, the fear of the Lord is pure. So this one says pure, which I would have thought it might have been pure, but it still has fear.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be that, but it would make sense if it was something else like love or word. Anyway, so it does seem to have them over multiple on this one. NIV. Oh, NIV.
I just read it.
Fear of the Lord is pure. It's got pure here. Yeah. Let's try one more. Knowing one. EMP. Amplified.
I like the Amplified.
Fear of the Lord is clean. Yeah, it's on a lot of them.
So what words change?
KGV. Okay, so
they want to say that it reads better with love, or
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I don't see it reading better with love necessarily.
No.
Yeah, clean is a weird one. It is weird. I would have thought it would have been pure, like a few of them actually say. But even fear, okay. I mean, I could go with fear, but if it is being multiplied, but it doesn't seem to be right. It's just a gut feeling. It's not knowing.
It's
There
it's
appears
a
to be
word. The
multiple
word
changes
is
going
different
on.
there.
Fear and clean. Then the word changed to
Like we
fear
read,
and pure
the word
changed to
fear
clean.
is not the
Oh,
same word.
so
he's loud.
So right, okay, so yeah, I did see.
What were you saying?
It's just there's a thing going on with the language in the translation.
I get
that
it.
word fear. Yeah, that word fear is not the same word for word.
I follow what you're saying. Like it's
Because they're talking about the word in this whole psalm is about the word.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Batteries are not included. Never mind. He's going for Mandela effect.
I'm saying Jesus is the Word, right?
Yeah.
Was the Word, always will be, right? So doesn't that go without saying?
Right, but it was saying that word fear is not the word for the word. Like,
Well,
it's
no,
not the word
I
for Jesus.
completely agree with you. It's obviously been changed, but you know, I'm just trying to figure out what context what does it change? Read it. Like, what would be different if you took a situation in real life and you said, okay, well, if this was different, this is how it would change that. You know what I mean? That give me a good reason.
Yeah, I don't speak it Greek.
Well, this would be written in Hebrew or Chaldean, right? Maybe even Aramaic.
No, and nobody speaks that. So
no.
Yeah, ancient Hebrew is long gone.
All right, let's finish this off, right? I guess.
To say there, that's probably why I said word. It probably came to my head subconsciously. So yeah, she seems to think it's the word. The word of the Lord is pure, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. The word of the Lord is pure. That does seem to make more sense. I mean, the fear of the Lord is clean. I mean, because the fear of the Lord is to be in awe of him, to be in wonder of him. I mean, and that's you having the fear of him, to be having reverence of him, and that you yourself are not clean as such. So it wouldn't make sense, or even pure. So it wouldn't make sense. It would be love. Word. Again, I'm not 100 on it. There appears to be more changes. However, the main focus will be showing the change. Word to fear. Okay. Word to fear. Okay. Once you look at the verse in context and what the surrounding verses are talking about, the change is even more ridiculous, right? Well, okay, actually, let's look at a few verses round about it.
He should know this by heart.
Right. The law, right? So the law of the Lord is perfect. Fine. Converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. Statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing in the heart. Commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. Nah, it does seem a bit off. But again, I don't know. More to be desired are they than gold. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey and honeycomb. And it's talking about the fear. That wouldn't make sense. If it says they, it's talking about the words. Surely. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. And in keeping of them.
What are we going to say?
If you were writing a song, would it sound better with fear there? Because that's what this was. It was a song.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think those lyrics hit harder, honestly.
Yeah. And the Lord, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? All wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. But I think he's trying to smooth it out a little bit better. Like it would sound better with the love of the Lord is the. Yeah, but he wants to change clean for pure, right? So I don't know why we're going to change 2 words, or why they would change 2 words. How would they change that? I don't know.
Attack the foundation and the building crumbles. It was this is like they're saying that the words of the Lord Jesus Christ himself have been changed. So
yeah, that's wrong in itself.
No.
Well, let's see what else we got.
Commandments, judgments, fear. Okay. Yeah, it would seem to make sense. Like say, I'm not 100 on it.
Okay, we got that part. It seems to fit to me and you too, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, we're on a different one.
No, it's the same one.
Oh, 9. Oh, so Psalms 9:10 now. Is it? Sorry, which one is it? Oh,
it's chapter 9.
Psalms 9:10.
Yeah, that's been the same one.
He's clearly talking about the word of the Lord being more, right. Okay, Psalms 9:10.
He's on the next verse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she's going off of.
I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't know what she's doing.
9. Psalms 9:10.
You were there a second ago, PJ.
And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for the Lord has not forsaken. That's not the right one.
Yeah.
Psalms
I think you're getting the verses mixed up.
Talking about the words of the Lord
get
being
the
more
impression-
desired than gold and sweeter than honey.
Yeah.
They're playing the.
I think. No, I think she's made a mistake there. She means say 19:10.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, he's in the wrong damn chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, that PJ's in chat now. Hey, PJ. You can't hear me. Yo.
Gang, gadgies.
Gang. You should come over. I'll give him a link. Hold on. I'll invite him over.
Gang, gadgies. The Tartan King himself.
The Tartan King.
I keep telling him it's plaid, dude. He disagrees.
Hopefully he's reading it. Everybody's talking about every Mandela in the world except this one in the chat. Yeah. It's a popular topic, man, ain't it? Yeah.
Oh, it is. And it's a real, like, I don't what's a better word than mind effed. Like it's a trip, right?
Yeah. Scrambled brains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the whiskey in, turn it on high. Yeah, let's watch more. See if he gets to the right chapter.
Surely.
She's wrong about it. She's in 9:10.
Because
9:10
says, and they that know thy name will put trust in thee, for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek
Is it just
thee.
me?
So I think she means.
Did PJ get a fade?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at him. he's all spoofed up, man. Yeah.
Does he have a part? I don't think he has a part.
I don't see one. I got one. They made me part my hair when I was younger, off to the left side or right side. Yeah. What'd you say, Ryan?
Nothing.
Nothing. Sound like something. Say it, man. Spit it out.
I said PJ has lots of licks, but not any parts.
Licks, no parts. Okay, that's funny. See, we wanted to get that out of you, man.
You know what I'm talking about? How licks?
Yeah. That's funny.
That was a good joke, you guys. Come on.
It was.
It was. Well, we get you to say it again, man. That's funny. Yeah. I'll tell him you said so. He'll listen to this later. Watch. All right, well, let's get back to it.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't even. Wow, I wasn't sharing. I'll show you. Wow.
Oh, show us.
How did that happen? Because Psalms 9:10.
Just go to
says,
19:10.
Yeah.
Psalms 9, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for the Lord has not forsaken them to seek thee. So, Psalms 9:10. It's not Psalms 9:10. I think talking about Psalms 19:10 maybe, or 19, or maybe meaning Psalms 9 and 10 from the same verse. Hold on.
Go back,
Let me
DJ.
just check. I think there's
Now
still
we're
a
all
typo
confused.
there somewhere.
What's that Scottish hound?
So 19.
The dog,
9.
right?
Okay.
PJ's like a hound on the blood trail.
He'll find it.
And he won't let it go though. He'll just keep sniffing it. Keep sniffing it.
Yeah, he's a bloodhound, man. He's gonna get the blue tick.
Or Scottish hound. That's what I'm thinking of, a Scottish hound.
Yeah. Let's see if he finds it.
Yeah, it's meaning 19:10. 19:10. The one I read earlier. Because look, there it says it's clearly talking about the word of the Lord being more desired than gold and sweeter than honey.
Yeah.
Well, it says 9:10 there. She meant 19:10 because that comes after 99, where it talks about the enduring for the fear of the Lord. And then 19:10 is more to be desired are they than gold, than much fine gold, sweeter than honey and the honeycomb. So it's just a typo. She meant 19, Psalms 19:10. Somebody's probably already told her. But afterwards, I'll put her.
That's funny.
Right, so 5:19. I'm gonna have to just put a little note in there. So just let I know. I dare say someone's already done it.
He's going to the comments.
Right, so okay, so timestamp 5:19.
I'm telling you, the Scottish hound, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna tell her she made a mistake.
Yeah.
5.
Let it go.
5.
Let it go.
19.
Question for you: did you see Michael Kahn put out a video on chemtrails recently? Yeah,
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Go look on his channel.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, he's out there filming them. Yeah, it's got his hair up in a bunch. Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, they're everywhere.
Yep.
They're playing tic-tac-toe up there, laughing at us.
Drop a bomb on us.
But
It can be under his X's.
Bible reference.
Hey, Raj, the old phone's about to die, and I got to get ready to go, man.
I got you. Nice having you up, Matthew.
Much love, much love. Later, Ryan. Have fun today, dude.
Later, Matt.
Later,
Yeah,
chat.
enjoy the Japanese festival, dude.
Yeah, gang. Later, chat. Everybody.
Hey guys, I'm not gonna play the rest of it here. Just go over to PJ's, watch it.
Gang.
All right, and I'm gonna get back to the boilerplate. Hey, I don't think PJ is coming. I dropped him a link. He might.
Yeah, Psalms.
Let's see.
9.
I'll put this in.
9, 10, and when you meant when you meant 19, 10. So did I get that right? 9, 10. 9, 10. Yeah, 9, 10 when it's meant to be 19, 10.
He may be
right,
busy.
and that was right. 5, 19, 5, 19.
Let's take it to the end, see if he's still running it. No, it's already done.
Universal change across all translations. It's either not a change or it's changed in a lot of them. The fear of the Lord. There seems to be a lot of fear of the Lord there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got you. I don't think it's changed necessarily. I could be wrong, too. But yeah, let's get back to the other one. We'll stop sharing this thing. Finish up Oakley and his... No, that's the wrong one. There it is. Okay. Watch this monkey dance. And believe me, if you research this deep enough, you'll find out that it's all the same.
When flat, that we take for a master reference to describe all altitudes with, that sort of sea level. Yeah, that'll be 5. How many globe measurements have we had so far?
0.
The top of the hill, I should be able to see the light. I'll be high enough up to look over the curvature of the Earth.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, what was that, Neil? Number 6.
High enough over.
Oh, what?
Looking over the curvature of the Earth. There you go.
Like a perpendicular altitude measurement surveyed to the millimeter accuracy with respect to that flat Earth master reference we called sea level a second ago. That one. That height of the hill.
Yep.
That's 6.
See the lighthouse. But what I'm then going to do is I'm going to work my way up the hill gradually until the light just about becomes visible. I'll then look at how high I am above sea level. I know
Ding, 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 ding. Up, high, sea level.
Well, you can't count them twice, but what he's got is he's got the height of the hill, number 6, and now he's got his height from sea level. So he's going to measure his own exact altitude with respect to that master reference called sea level in perpendicular altitude. That's linear distance in the vertical. That's 7. So someone else spotted one? I heard someone else's voice. Really not?
The lighthouse is above sea level.
Up the hill.
Also know that
Yeah, we've had that. So we've got his number 6 would be his altitude up the hill.
In 300 yards at the round.
Not his altitude up the hill. The hill's altitude. Number 7, his altitude up the hill, if I could say it.
About. Continue straight onto Quantock Road, A39.
I know the distance between us, and from those 3 values, I can plug them into a formula.
I'm going to rewind, okay?
Continue straight onto Quantock Road, A39.
I know the distance between us, and from those 3 values, I can plug them into a formula and work out the size of the Earth.
Ooh.
I didn't hear a ding, ding, ding.
Well, I thought we're not repeating.
Play it one more time. No. There's a new one. Go on, whoever that was from Discord.
Satellite navigation.
One more time.
Cell navigation. It's
Satellite navigation.
Ah, that's one I didn't spot when I listened to it earlier.
I didn't hear that either.
That wasn't the one I was going for, though. So that's number 8, right? The satellite navigation is using Cartesian coordinates for the grid to give him the directionality. And you heard the sat-nav in the back. And now I heard the sat-nav, got very good audio, but I didn't think, oh, well, that's using a Cartesian grid for him to navigate his position with coordinate data. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Nice one, didn't catch that. But there's another one. It's very specific as well. But that's 8. Let's see if we can hear it. I'm going to play it one more time.
Onto Quantock Road, A39.
I know the distance between us, and from those 3 values, I can plug them into a formula and work out the size of the Earth.
No one's going to get it.
The 3 values?
Is it just distance?
Distance between the 2 points, specifically. Yeah? So now he's going to go and gather from prerequisite flat Earth linear distance values that have been measured, surveyed, mapped, charted, and are scaled on a map that he'll reference because he knows the distance between where he's going and the lighthouse. That's his linear distance value that he's got for his distance to the point of observation. Like a value that you'd plug into a calculation that he's just detailed. That's the distance between him and the observation point, from observer to observed. Yeah? That's 9.
Anyway, more on that later. Well, I'm here in Ilfracombe at last. It was quite a drive and it's gone dark, as you can see. But anyway, now we're set to try and make our measurement. Look over towards that lighthouse. One thing I need to do first, though, is to calibrate my altimeter. My phone's got a pretty accurate altimeter in, but it does need to be calibrated down at sea level. So I'm going to walk down the steps and get just above the surface of the water and set the 0 reading. Then, if you look behind me...
I didn't hear anything.
You talk about altimeter, surface, behind.
The height of the hill and his height, yeah, he's going to acquire by calibrating the tool to sea level. So his calibration...
Yeah, we have to have that level.
Well, it's just his calibration methodology. We've already accounted for him utilising the surveyed height of the hill from sea level by whoever's giving that measurement. It might be Google Earth, it might be the Ordnance Survey. It doesn't really matter. It's just one of his prerequisites that he's utilised thus far. Now, he has already said at number 7, my altitude. But in order to acquire his altitude, he needs another data point. Well, he needs to cross-reference his altimeter with sea level. That's 10. Oh, just so we're keeping track, how many globe measurements have we had so far? 0? Bummer.
A little hill with a church on the top. We're going to head up there and see if we can spot the lighthouse.
Now again, you could be pedantic and say, look, anal is going up. That's a description perpendicular to a plane of reference to have an up as an orientation. But we won't count that one. I mean, there's several that we've whistled past that, you know, would be a little pedantic to include. But strictly speaking...
because we counted them earlier, so we can't count them again.
So I descended the steps from the harbour wall to the shore and zeroed my altimeter. Then I walked to the top of the hill with a church on it. I realised that the church is no longer a church, but is now a lighthouse itself.
Nah, that's probably a hippie with a Zippo trying to get a joint lit.
Ding, ding, ding. The guitar sound.
The guitar sound? Oh, he's not using that as evidence, although to describe sound in general, you're absolutely correct. It needs a plane of reference to it to do it, but I wouldn't necessarily include that one.
And to build a guitar, you're measuring how?
He's playing it. He's just not using it for this evidence, so I'm not going to include that one. But sound, you're absolutely right. There's a prerequisite flat plane to describe it.
Once at the top, I could look across the water to Nash Point. Okay, well, I'm at the top of the hill now, and I've just been looking over across the water, and I can see
Across?
Got that already.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we already had that...
Across the one.
Yeah, we had that like number 1 or 2. What are we at now? 9?
a flashing light.
10. We got 10, but he's going to keep using the same things over and over, so we got to catch new ones.
Okay.
Measurement. We can see the lighthouse from the top of the hill now, and I've just been looking over across the water, and I can see a flashing light. So now we're ready to make the actual measurement. We can see the lighthouse from the top of this hill. I'm now going to gradually work my way down the hill until I see that light disappear. Then I'm going to use my phone's altimeter.
And I'm going to say something that I also say in my book, right? So when I go through this, I think it's in the chapter called Earth Curve, I make it explicitly clear that what I'm about to say, both in the book and now, is not incumbent upon me to do. That is to say, my understanding of what's about to happen has no necessity for me to justify or describe or verbalise. right? I'm not making this as a positive claim. Now, as a consequence of not realising when the burden of proof is flipped upon me, or was 10 years ago in debate about exactly these sorts of things, lighthouses and distances, right? Prerequisite flat earth measurements of distances that we're already covering and counting them up, so far I'm running out of fingers. Nevertheless, right, when we were doing this, we're relying on our understanding of how we will input these values into the calculation. I've forgotten where I was going with this now. I forgot what I was going to point out. What did he just say? Let's cover
something about your book.
Oh, yeah, right. It's not incumbent on me to do this. Yes, well remembered, Neil. And that's to say, what he's doing is he's looking across the plane of reference at sea level that's measured. Right, this goes without saying. But to describe what's happening as he decreases in altitude, another flat Earth prerequisite measurement perpendicular to sea level to be decreasing in a value linear and perpendicular to a plane, he will simultaneously reduce the angle that he can view that target with. That's where we get the terminology in the now titled, begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculation. As you limit the angle with respect to the plane of reference you're looking over in this regard, you simultaneously lower the angular resolution limit of, in this instance, either his eyeball or the camera he's viewing this target with. Now, you can increase that Rayleigh criterion limitation by increasing the aperture of the lens through which you are viewing the target with. But this is a function of perspective. I'll reiterate, I don't now give a crap about this. This is useless information, because what use is the horizon for me in this regard when he describes 10 flat Earth prerequisite measurements to suggest that he's going to run this value through a calculation that shows you and the target simultaneously, excluding perspective. Hashtag shit shrinks. Yeah? My question would be, well, why, this is 10 years ago, why isn't it the same value as the diagrammatically exampled lighthouse that's very large, given the distance away from it in your diagram with an Earth curve that accepts flat Earth values inputted into it, would be what I say now, negating the necessity to have this discussion. But the fact is, in the calculation, you see the side of your own head, ignoring angular resolution limits, and in this specific instance, the visual acuity reduction based on the limitation of the angle with respect to the deck. That's what forms the horizon where he's viewing this light, and he's limiting his angle as he reduces his angle with respect to the planar surface he's looking over. I'll say it third time. Not that this is in any way my responsibility to explain. This is not my claim. The fact that I know is almost me fart sniffing to explain it, because why do I care? I don't have a claim that's dependent on this nonsense. So who cares what the functionality of perspective and the Rayleigh criterion is? He's claiming, when utilising flat Earth measurements of distance, where he, when limiting his angle, suggests that Earth curve gets in the way, when he ignores that hashtag shit shrinks, and he's applying orthographic mathematics to flat Earth measurements.
See the lighthouse from the top of this hill? I'm now going to gradually work my way down the hill until I see that light disappear. Then I'm going to use my phone's altimeter to see my altitude above sea level. So let's head on down there.
So he's now summarising all of the flat Earth prerequisites that we've listed off. So I'm just going to use my flat Earth measurement from sea level that are calibrated with sea level. And even though I'm not at the same point, I'm further away from it in the horizontal that's been measured to the millimetre accuracy. I'm going to drop in flat Earth prerequisite, altimeter measured and calibrated with sea level, altitude from sea level with a common reference. And when I get down there, we're going to see if the light disappears in the distance. Sorry, did anybody count off any globe actual measurements at this point, or is it just the 10 flat Earth prerequisites that we've had so far?
It's just the 10. We're on zero globe, but notice how casual they just keep using the flat Earth measurements.
Yeah, like it goes without saying, Neil. Goes without saying. Well, yeah, it's the as the crow flies straight line distance measured and surveyed Euclidean. Yeah, it goes without saying. You know that miles are just linear, Nathan. End quote guy on panel last week. Yeah, I do. I know that Earth's measured flat in linear miles. That's how we measure it. You're using them all the time. then whistling past them? Because so far, just the flat Earth measurements. He's not measured anything, you notice. Yeah, it seems like it's all good to just go and get the flat Earth linear mile measurements because you're going to use them when you say you're measuring curve. No, you're using already measured to the millimetre accuracy in linear distances. The maps that you've been used with linear scales, that's what you've got these values from, sir. So in case it wasn't clear, you have actually used other people's measurements to assert this shite that you haven't measured.
So I worked my way down the hill. I had to go right to the bottom and climb over the wall and out onto the rocks until eventually the light disappeared. Okay, I've worked my way down this quite dicey set of rocks and steps to the point where the light is just starting to disappear below the waves. If I look at the light, sometimes I see it.
Do we have below already? Have we had below?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but we'll keep it at 10 because there's like a couple that kind of overlap each other. If there was a Venn diagram of descriptions of over there or below, and those kind of vague generalizations that we have colloquially used to give us a directionality. Ultimately, we've counted at least once, probably twice, some of these, and there's maybe half a dozen in total. But we'll keep it at 10, I would say.
Unless and then sometimes I don't, as the waves bob up and down. So I think it's time to
Bob?
to take my measurement. So I'm going to get my phone altimeter out and see.
Just get your flat Earth calibrated altitude perpendicular to sea level measurement out from your phone. Gotcha.
What my height is.
Height, what perpendicular to the master reference we call sea level. Cross-reference with all these different points that are also cross-referenced to sea level, and sea level itself being a flat Earth measurement averaged. Wow, there's quite a few flat Earth things that you've got to do. When do we get to the ball measurement exactly?
What? And the altimeter reading
is a flat Earth measurement.
Will this focus? I left autofocus turned off, so no, it.
I don't think you needed to go to voiceover, my friend. You just need to say the number.
It won't. Anyway, it's 16 feet. I couldn't calibrate it in meters, but that's an easy conversion. Okay, so now we've gathered our measurements. My height.
Right, so what was it we're seeing here? A perfect timing for what I've just described
16 feet.
earlier.
I couldn't calibrate it in meters.
I'll pause it at the point, then I'll go on camera to describe it and cut between the two.
Okay.
Oh, what do we have here? Would it be, by chance, the orthographic representation of seeing what we call Muppet vision, like you're seeing a puppet that you're holding in the side of its head when you're presenting that it's you? No, we don't get to see ourselves and the target simultaneously. That is not how our eyeballs work. We don't get to detach our eyeballs and throw them 1,000 miles away side profile. That's not how we see things. No, we see with angular resolution limits based on what we actually see. We never get to see the side of our own head. But what do we have here? Oh, well, if it isn't the side of our own head and the target simultaneously in the same diagram, it's almost like we've been here before when we described this as the begging the question proof of nothing. Perspective hijacking Earth curve calculation that accepts flat Earth linear distances and altitudes perpendicular to sea level as values that are ascribable to this shite. No, we don't see the side of our own head. This is never the view that you get. The only reason it's being used mathematically in this context is to exclude the perspective it's hijacking when you limit the angle by decreasing in flat Earth measurements from sea level. Go ahead.
I was wondering why he's not using the first image we seen, the proper way. He was looking at the lighthouse. It's weird to me.
Oh, you mean when we could see it through the camera view?
Yes. Why did we go to this view?
Yeah, that's a good point. I've got it up on screen now. Where in this image do we see the rock we're standing on the side of our own head? We don't. It's a way of hijacking perspective and calling it Earth curve. But meanwhile, like I say, that's what we used to argue about. The game was stacked against us so that we could automatically assume the radius value also derived from flat Earth prerequisite measurements that creates this ball in an orthographic mathematic calculation that accepts the flat Earth measurements that we detailed earlier and counted on 2 hands. You need the flat Earth measurements to create the radial value to create the ball so that it can accept flat Earth measurements be inputted when you exclude perspective and hijack it to call it Earth curve. when decreasing in an altitude measured from surface level. In this instance, he's utilizing this view in the calculation. This is not, I repeat, not a measurement. Now, I'm not going to call the man a liar. I'm just going to call him stupid. That's to say, this is accountable with ignorance. Ignorant of what a calculation versus what a measurement is. A measurement would be the actual distance between the 2 points, the value that he's reliant upon and did not measure. That's the only thing that has been measured, other than his calibrated from sea level altitude perpendicular to sea level, which you must accept is perpendicular because he moved in the horizontal when he moved away from the sea he calibrated it with. Ergo, axiomatically, it's required to be perpendicular to the same plane of reference that he calibrated his tool with. So the only measurement he has actually made is a perpendicular altitude measurement calibrated at sea level. That is all he has actually measured. No distance was measured. He relied upon those from the surveys who have topographical deviations referenced to the millimetre accuracy, also perpendicular altitude deviations from the linear as it is straight line as the crow flies measurement of surface level when we describe miles between these 2 points he's reliant on. The actual measurements of Earth in all circumstances in this example are flat and can only be flat. Meanwhile, he's now I'm not going to call him a liar, but through ignorance assert that a begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculation in an orthographic view where you see the side of your own head is him measuring Earth. No, fart sniffer, this is definitely not you measuring Earth. How dare you be so bold as to use the flat Earth linear distance miles that are absolutely an affirmation of how flat Earth has been measured to suggest this garbage where we see the side of our own frickin' head. What an outrage.
Okay, so now we've gathered our measurements.
Sorry, your flat Earth measurements that you relied upon from the maps. This is not a measurement. This is you plugging values that are measurements and linear of distance and height into your calculations that see your own head inside profile.
My height above sea level was 5 meters.
That's a flat Earth measurement.
The height of the lighthouse varies with the tide, and when I took the measurement, it was 65.5 meters above sea level.
Above sea level, which is a flat Earth measurement perpendicular for altitude.
So now it's time to do some calculations.
Right, do some calculations. So now that we've got all the flat Earth measurements from sea level, perpendicular altitude measurements, calibrated to surface level, sea level measurements from your phone, and measurements of a hill that you've got also from the topographical surveys for its height, and your height on the hill that you measured with a calibrated 0 point perpendicular in the altitude vertical vector also. You're going to now do your calculations to suggest sphericity. No, you'll be violating the linear distance that you've utilised from your map, sir, that you didn't measure. No, you can't do this. This violates the baseline that you're using for perpendicularity to ascribe height to it. In no way, shape or form is this calculation any value when it comes to the reality of what we see, with angular resolution limits being what control how your eyeball works, not orthographic representations that exclude perspective and use flat Earth measurements.
Let's start with a simple formula for working out a distance to the horizon from a given height.
Sorry, I thought you were going to measure it. So now we're utilising formula that use flat Earth height. I see. I wonder if this formula will be utilising a linear radial value for a sphere Earth that's already been measured with angles to give you a radial value? Well, let's see.
The formula is distance equals 2 times the radius of the Earth.
Oh, I see. So we've already got a radius of Earth. Yeah, that's measured flat for that too. Yeah, the minimum elevation angle measurement of Polaris, giving you an equatorial value that you can utilise the radius, that's the area of equal elevation derivation, for that circumferential value you call the equator. That's your use of flat Earth angle measurement prerequisite measurements to give you this value that you definitely didn't measure, sir. So what this is actually, well, it's an elaborate begging the question fallacy. This man's not measuring Earth and its curvature. He's assuming Earth has curvature by calculating drop with flat Earth prerequisite measurements of distance and flat Earth prerequisite measurements of altitude, when assuming sphericity with an R value that's also derived from measuring Earth flat for altitude angles with Polaris.
The height plus the height squared, all square rooted. But this
So you need R. Yeah, R comes from a flat Earth measurement.
Ignores refraction. The light from the light.
Refraction In your case, terrestrial refraction also relies on the flat Earth measurement of a radial value at 7/6 of said radial value. That's what you think terrestrial refraction is. Well, then you'll need R, measured off a flat Earth. See how it's very difficult to reify your incorrect, ignorant assertion that believes in the idea of seeing your own head when excluding perspective and utilising several flat Earth prerequisite measurements that you've utilised off the back of other people who've actually been paid to measure something. You, sir, haven't measured a damn thing. You're definitely not measuring Earth curve. But you are definitely utilising a begging the question fallacy to use a radial value that's already been measured for you off a flat Earth with elevation angles.
Lighthouse to the observer is bent around slightly by the atmosphere, which means it can...
No, you don't have begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculations with oxymoronic sphere-shaped atmo, that's air, sphere. No, you have a 7/6 of a radial value, not anything to do with, even in your begging the question, nonsensical oxymoronic sphere-shaped air assumption. It's just 7/6 of a radius value or any derivative thereof. That's why in your diagrammatical example, you've got this curve that you've already extrapolated with a radial value when you see the side of your own head. Now, his photography, just to reiterate, did not take place with him looking at him as a little stick man standing on the side of the hill. We never got that view, which excludes perspective. But we do have a sphere automatically being assumed with a curved radii and things massively out of scale. That's where you derive this bending light from. It's based on radius. It's called terrestrial refraction and has nothing to do with atmosphere, oxymoronic sphere-shaped air. No, it's just 7/6 of the radial value or any derivation thereof, which requires you measure a radial value on a flat Earth.
Whoa.
Travel a bit further. A rough rule of thumb is that it goes 8% further, though this can...
Do we use rules of thumb when we're measuring? Neil, you know when you've got your tape measure out when you're doing your flooring, did you use the tape measure or a rule of thumb to guesstimate?
No, I use a tape measure.
You don't know what measuring is, sir. You're just bullshitting. You're using side profile views of sphericity that derive themselves from radial values, measured off a flat Earth, using flat Earth linear measurements of distance, using flat Earth measurements of altitude. You also require, in your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator, eye level be parallel with surface level. Now, you don't seem to have that diagrammatically exampled in this garbage you seem to have shit out.
Can vary a lot with conditions.
Conditions have nothing to do with it. 7/6 of a radial value in standard form. When you're using rules of thumb, end quote you, then the rule of thumb would be 7/6 of a radius. You'll need a radius. It doesn't vary with anything atmospheric. It's not based on atmosphere. It's based on 7/6 of a radius value. You need radius. No measurements will be taken or needed for you to alter with a sliding scale this automatic assumption derived from a radius. Stop talking crap. You don't obviously understand what you're talking about. You think the sliding scale in Earth curve maths that alters 7/6 or derivative values of radius value has something to do with what's going on when you look with your eyeballs? No. Your diagrammatical example showed you the side of your own head and you think what goes through your eyeballs is somehow affected by this. Obviously just ignorant. I won't call him a bullshitter. Just stupid. No, we're not taking into account what comes into our eyeballs through the air when you look at the side of your own head and use flat Earth measurements of distance.
So here's our adjusted formula for the horizon distance. Now, let's assume the books are telling us the truth about the Earth's size and that its radius is 6,371,000 metres.
So when you say you're going to measure stuff, you mean let's just assume the value that you said you were not doing in the first frames of your video. We could just go to Wiki. You did, you dumbass. That's exactly what you've just done. Let's just assume Earth has a radius value, and here it is in Wiki. I thought you were trying to sniff your own farts by suggesting that you'd gone out and done this on your own. No, you haven't. What you've done is the boilerplate, standard issue garbage handed to you on Wikipedia. That's what you've done. Use something that is so common that we've given it a nickname, the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator and its derivative flat Earth measurement of radial value. That's boilerplate. Not you going out and doing anything, Dumbo. You thought you got the radius value, did you? Did you think you measured the distance, did you? The only thing you did was calibrate a tool to the sea level and then assume perpendicularity when you went up a hill that wasn't directly over the point you calibrated your tool with. So you required flat Earth measurements in every shape and form. And all you did, in contradiction to what you suggested at the beginning of your video, that you wouldn't just go to Wiki? What, for the frickin' radius that you're assuming, dum-dum? Yeah, you will. That's exactly what you do with your boilerplate useless garbage.
Using this, we get a distance from the lighthouse to the sea surface of 31,200 meters.
That's a linear distance. That's 11. I'm going to count it, because he's got it in an orthographic representation. The distance that you're asserting to the geometric horizon is a flat linear distance. That's how values are comparable to the flat scales that are measured with Earth and its surface. If you're going to take this value and compare it to where you suggest, an orthographic view that is not what you see with your eyes suggests the distance to the lighthouse should be, then that distance that you suggest it should be is and can only be linear. That's what these meter values are. So that counts as number 11, because now you've got a different distance that's described in an orthographic representation. Flat. 11 so far. Just so we're fair and we keep track of the ball ones, we don't want to miss any. How many ball measurements have we had so far?
0.
0?
The own distance to that point is 8,620 meters.
It stretches the distance out further. So the light's going to dissipate. Weird, huh? This is what they do every time, dude. Yeah.
Why are these lines straight? Is it just me, or is it even prevalent in his own diagrammatical examples of these linear distance values? Your distances are linear, mate. Yeah, like meters are. If you don't have bendy meters, you can't use radial values from bent meters, can you? Obviously not. They've got to be straight. We all understand that. It goes without saying that these are flat Earth measurements. Like you've diagrammatically superimposed them on your crap diagram that didn't have an eye level to derive the dip angle measurement in an orthographic view from? Why do I know more about your maths than you do when you're suggesting that this is you fart sniffer, telling people how you've measured Earth? No, you're just wiki parroting what a radius is that you definitely didn't measure. I doubt highly that you'd even know where that radial value was derived. But you do seem to understand how linear distances are, because you've just diagrammatically exampled them linear. It's because they are.
So a total distance of 39,820 meters.
Flat meters, yeah, flat Earth measurements in meters, yeah, like diagrammatically exampled, because that's what meters are.
But
11.
We know that the actual distance between the two places is...
Sorry, what? We know what the actual distance is? Yeah, this is a term that I got recently put in front of me from somebody who was suggesting that geodesics would give us the answers when it came to actual distance. It's a term that people use when they are being paid to survey Earth, and it is the Euclidean straight line actual distance that this man would be referring to, linear in its value. So if I describe these things from things like ArcGIS, when they describe distance very specifically, when qualifying the relationships between network distance and straight line distance for applications in spatial bias corrections, they would say things like straight line distance can be altered when a barrier is present. Another way a straight line distance can be altered is when incorporating the actual distance encountered when accounting for the ups and downs in the flat surface. Straight line Euclidean distance is the distance that typically comes to mind when you think of a distance analysis, like ArcGIS perform. It is the shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line distance is the distance that you measure with a ruler on a paper map. Straight line distance does not account for the surface between the 2 points. It is the distance a bird or aeroplane would travel between 2 points when flying above the surface. So straight line actual distance is very much an understood and utilised topographical terminology when detailing flat earth linear measurements of the surface in miles. They are the surface level actual distance that this man has just appealed to when he says, quote, "We know the actual distance." Go ahead, whoever is that, and then I'll play it again. Someone in G Plus had their mic open. Clearly not.
Yeah, it's open as soon as I start my call. I don't know what's going on there. Sorry.
So a total distance of 39,820 meters. But we know that the actual distance between the two places is 44,600 meters.
Yeah, we know that because Earth's been measured flat with that linear distance that you already know. I mean, is it just me, or do I feel like I've been missold on this entire video where he suggests he's going to go out and measure something, and he's now appealing to Wiki for radius and knowing the actual distance measured by real men who don't sniff their own farts and lie to people about measuring things that they're not? Now, you've only measured altitude with a tool that you didn't create, and it was linear in the vertical with respect to a plane of reference called sea level. That's what you've done. That's the only measurement. This measurement was measured by real men. And it's linear and flat and absolutely required to be so. You're the one appealing to it, while you delude yourself that you're measuring some curve with this flat mile distance and meter distance.
So my own distance calculation is 11% shorter than the actual distance.
So what, the actual measured distance that's flat?
Okay, so it's a couple of days after I shot that video. My original plan was to get a pen and paper and do the calculations on the spot.
Sorry, I thought at the beginning of this video you told us that your original decision was to go out and measure Earth curve. No, what you did was measure a flat Earth 11 times. That's what you actually did. Utilise flat Earth prerequisites almost a dozen times.
I'm actually keeping track of the globe Earth measurements, and I have 0. Now he's turning it to a calculation.
Oh, so before a single globe measurement's taken and 11 flat Earth prerequisites are utilised in the acquisition of this value you scribble down, and the values given to you by real men who actually measured Earth in a linear distance, you're going to now tell me that you're going to move on to the calculations? Are we going to just go to Wiki for the radius, or are you going to measure that? Are you just going to go to Wiki for that, exactly as you said you wouldn't do? Oh, wow, this is very disappointing. It's almost like we've been doing it for 10 years. And this relies fundamentally on nobody noticing how flat your actual measurements are.
But by the time I shot that last part of the video where I was sitting out on those rocks, it was close to midnight, and I had a 3-hour drive ahead of me to get home, so I just wanted to jump in the car and be home.
Anybody going to catch that last one, that 12th one? 12th?
12th, yeah.
I didn't hear it.
Shot that last part of the video where I was sitting out on those rocks. It was close to midnight.
Time.
Midnight.
Midnight.
Time.
The time?
Well, midnight specifically is a convention derived from the average. Now, we have had time already, but would we count midnight? Should we keep it at 11? We've already had time, I suppose. It's another one where
since he's given us none, I don't feel wrong to make it 12.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we have had several other things that have been doubled up and we haven't counted them, so it's fast and loose. It's not like these rules mean anything. There's a dozen flat Earth prerequisites that have been utilised, some more than once.
And I had a 3-hour drive ahead of me to get home, so I just wanted to jump in the car and be home. So anyway, the final conclusion there was that there was an 11% discrepancy in the distance I calculated to the lighthouse.
The flat distance you calculated. Yeah, gotcha.
Versus the actual distance we know.
Gotcha. So there's a difference between the flat distance calculation that you acquired towards the end of this process with all your flat Earth prerequisites in tow, and the actual burly manly man measurement, also linear and flat. Gotcha.
To be true, which would suggest that the Earth is a bit bigger than they're telling us.
Would it? So based on the actual measurements of a flat linear distance, you think that you've extrapolated a discrepancy with the ball Earth when utilising an already...
Bingo! So it's a lie, the globe.
in existence, begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective, hijacking Earth curve calculator, and its flat Earth measurement prerequisite R value. That's what you extracted from that, did you, you fart sniffer? Au contraire.
But the discrepancy is bigger than it might seem. The size of the Earth is related to the square of the distance, so this 11%...
Like the square of the distance? So we need
ding, 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 ding.
Are we going to be squaring values in distance terminology now? Go ahead. Or was that it?
Yeah, the area will be from flat measurements. Here's measured flat with area measurements.
Right.
Here's flat.
I can confidently count that as 12.
Discrepancy becomes a 23% discrepancy.
23% discrepancy, eh? Really?
Of the size of the Earth.
No, you derive these values by calculating based on radius, you dumbass. The radius would be the only value to assert how big Earth is, and you've already assumed it in your value that you're calculating with. My God, are you really this stupid? If I assume Earth's a sphere and I give it a preordained radius value, then I can take this preordained, beg the question of sphericity derived from a flat Earth measurement radial value and show how when I go out and calculate things with flat Earth measurement distances that are linear, how the discrepancy of the Earth that's already got a value in radius form varies. You have absolutely no idea what you're babbling about, do you, sir? Clearly. You know why? Because you've taken the stamped boiler.
Now, here's one for you. I'm going to throw it out there at you guys. Angular size change over distance. The lighthouse will appear smaller and lower in the horizon. But, what do I know?
Hate rhetoric and think that this makes you somehow an intellectual when you use that which was stamped about 200 years ago into existence when they hijacked distance to the offing measurements and called them Earth curve calculations. It's about 200 years this has been stamped on a boilerplate for you to regurgitate after memorizing. That's all you're doing, though. You're regurgitating the most crude, basic boilerplate globe garbage that exists. But in your mind, you're an intellectual discrepancy finder. You're not.
So does that mean the books are wrong?
No, it means you've utilised the prerequisite R value and you seem to think that you're somehow going to deviate from that value you've already utilised. Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's just ignorance. You're just stupid. And that's the only reality that we can describe it.
That the Earth really is 23% bigger.
Bigger than the radial value that you already based these calculations on, you say, sir? We'd need to know where we got that radial value from. And I think that's where we should really ponder for a moment. Where do we get radius for this man to suggest this deviation from his boilerplate rhetoric? Well, we get it by measuring Earth flat with elevation angles to the Sun and Polaris. We utilise the vernal equinox to give us this average that corresponds with a minimum elevation angle of Polaris to form a system of longitude and latitude measured and depicted with angle measurements with respect to a plane in a degree format called coordinates. So we've got quite a few flat Earth prerequisite elevation angle measurements forming radial values for you to suggest that you're deviating at a 23% rate from that already in existence, gathered from Wikipedia value that you spat out from the boilerplate.
Never measured.
How intellectually marvellous of you.
Well, I don't think so.
No, I don't either, sir. I think you're just a fart sniffer.
Problem with the method here is...
No, there is no problem with any method. It's the boilerplate standard fare method that you just ballsed up when you took a flat Earth prerequisite linear distance and compared it to a different, actually measured, real value, surveyed to the millimetre accuracy, flat and linear value in metres. That's all you've actually done.
Is that it's not completely accurate.
No, I'm pretty sure that people's lives and quite expensive surveys depend on them getting values that are absolutely 100% accurate. Like the GIS survey that I just detailed, where they're being paid quite a considerable sum to assess the differential values when mapping the topographical terrain differences from the linear mile or kilometre measurements in grids. So they can assess the distances between, I don't know, ranger stations, air ambulance flights, electrical substation points. These are all paid for in terms of their use, as you have also used, of the accurate as it is straight line distance for values that you've hijacked. One of them was radius. That is also a straight line distance. Linear. in miles at 39.59 after converting to statute the accurate measured minimum angle to Polaris off a flat plane. That's how you have come to this conclusion. Now you wax lyrical about your own fart sniffing endeavours and how, oh, well, it doesn't necessarily mean how accurate my measurement. You haven't done any.
First, there's my altimeter on my phone. It's
your flat Earth altimeter, right.
fairly accurate, but it's not
fairly accurate when it measured perpendicular to a plane. Gotcha.
Perfect. It gave my height above sea level as 5.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Gave you your height above sea level. That's right. Yeah, it gave you your accurate perpendicular measurement with respect to a plane. The only measurement.
I almost think this guy did this on purpose. Instead of taking the actual distance into account for where the lighthouse is and angular size change over that distance. But, you know, calculate on.
That you took was perpendicular to a plane from sea level in the vertical. That's it. That's the only measurement that you took. Now, everything else was already measured for you, including your begging the question radial value to apply to a proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator.
5 meters, but it could have been out by a meter or two.
What, perpendicular to a plane?
But I think the biggest variable in this equation is the refraction of the light. The way
you think the biggest variation is the 7/6 of a radius value derivation of terrestrial refraction that you've got no control over? No, that's also based on a radial value. You obviously seem to be utilizing a different...
I don't know if you call it sorcery, but yeah, they're just fudging the numbers. The distance is much further to the lighthouse. Their calculations are bringing it closer to... And there's no refraction involved in it. That's not true refraction, and Nathan's going to get into that in a second. It's a good point. This is a good video. He'll break down how they do their sorcery, you might say.
Type of refraction that doesn't apply to your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve mathematics at a rate of 7/6 of a radius in standard form. It's called terrestrial refraction. Some people call it standard refraction when they describe it at 7/6 of a radius. And if it alters, it's nothing to do with the day when you're seeing the side of your own head in an orthographic representation that's mathematical only. That has no atmosphere. Atmosphere is an oxymoron. Air doesn't take the shape of a sphere. It takes the shape of its containment. But that, notwithstanding that air doesn't take a sphere shape, we still have the fact that you're utilizing flat Earth prerequisite measurements from sea level that then get converted into a radial value for you to utilize 7/6 in a standard format of the radial value that was measured flat also.
The light from the lighthouse bends over the surface of the sea. The rule of thumb is that the light can go 8% further as...
Your value is based on terrestrial refraction. It's derived from our same one you got from Wikipedia when you said that wasn't what you would be doing. Just lying to your audience.
This can vary a lot with weather conditions.
No, it doesn't vary with weather conditions. You just don't understand your own rhetoric. Your terrestrial refraction that's derived from a radial value that we measured off a flat Earth varies on a sliding scale. In standard format, it's 7/6 of the radius value. That's what you have to work with. It has absolutely nothing to do with the surface of Earth and what you see with respect to it. Now, if you infer, as Andrew Thomas Young did, that you're deriving 7/6 of a radius value by inference only, not by measurement, from other refracted values, then the other refraction that's measured is also measured with respect to a plane. Actual refraction, that's looming, stooping, the effects that we can measure in reality are detailed and measured with respect to a plane also. That's actual refraction as opposed to this. When you draw an orthographic view and bend a line. Sorry, do you ever see a line of sight? Like, do you ever stand side on to a curved line of... No, you don't. It's ludicrous. You think you can see the side of the vision that you're looking at. Nobody ever gets to see the side profile of a light bending. That's utterly ludicrous. But that mathematics is specifically and explicitly detailed as terrestrial refraction. It's got nothing to do with what you're now ascribing it with, though. Now, again, I can't call you a liar. Bullshitter, maybe, because you don't know that you're ignorant. That's Dunning-Kruger. But you are ignorant. This has nothing to do with any values that you will get from the conditions on the day, I assure you. 7/6 terrestrial refraction relies on R. It's 7/6 of it. So you'll need it, and it's measured flat to acquire. Sod all to do with the day and the conditions. You're just wrong.
with the temperature of the seawater.
Wrong. Where in 7/6R do you input the temperature of the sea? You don't. You're just bullshitting. You don't know your own mathematics that you put up on screen with your crude diagram that didn't have an eye level.
And the temperature of the air above it.
No, wrong.
So overall,
that would be actual refraction. That doesn't have a value in Earth curve mathematics that beg the question.
I'd say that this video was a bit inconclusive.
I would say that you used flat Earth measurements, quite a few of them, and I will make a different conclusion based on your suggestion that you're garbage extrapolation after suggesting you wouldn't go straight to Wiki and then went straight to Wiki for a radial value measured off a flat Earth. Isn't that it's inconclusive, as you've just suggested? It concludes nicely for me when I say this man measured Earth flat. Every aspect of every single measurement that this man appealed to were with respect to a planar flat surface. All of them. Height, distance, directionality. All of it. Perpendicular to a plane. The eye-level derivation for the angle used in his mathematics when utilising a radial value, also extracted from a planar measurement of an elevation angle. All he's done is measured Earth flat 6 ways from Sunday. Now he says it's inconclusive. No, I'll make a conclusion because we've got measurements. You just didn't measure them. You did appeal to the flat measurements of miles and metres, though, sir. So we can only depend on that which you have appealed to in this regard. Not any of your after-the-fact calculations that didn't understand our terrestrial refraction relied on an R value to be applicable to the begging the question proof of method perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator. But that's just you being ignorant. But we still had flat Earth altitude and we still had flat Earth distance. Lots of it. And directionality, azimuth, you described when you looked in a particular direction. All with reference to a flat plane. There are no exceptions. So you might not be able to draw what conclusion that you extracted a radial value and assumed Earth spherical anyway. Well, you definitely did that, but that didn't prove anything.
Nope.
No, I was hoping that my measurement would be closer to the
You didn't
real
make
value.
any measurements. What, you thought your measurement of altitude would give you that, did you, Dumbo? Yeah, it's really annoying when fart sniffers start ascribing things like measurements, when really all they've done is downloaded an app for altitude and calibrated. That's it. That's the extent of what he's measured, isn't it? But here he is, self-righteous, fart-sniffing, pompous dweeb, telling himself that he's acquired some marvellous measurements. No, you relied on real men going out and measuring actual distance, sir. Yeah? Do they get any praise? Do they? Hell. You just use these measurements and make your comparisons to the flat Earth linear distances you rely upon, and then sit there in your chair sniffing your own farts like you've done something. Au contraire. You went on a little day trip and used an app. Pathetic. Meanwhile, every measurement you appealed to was a flat Earth prerequisite.
Within 5%. To be out by 11%, it doesn't actually conclude anything, I think. What if the...
Well, you did. That's your first mistake, thinking. Yeah, that's your problem.
It really does. It just shows that your calculations are off, and the Earth is actually further, wide, longer, flatter than you think. And you don't take any angular size change or perspective involved with any of these measurements. It literally is a fact. Watch the last John D video I did. He explains it, what happens during these sessions. There's magnification and real refraction. It doesn't change the distance to the target. It just changes the way you see it. It doesn't bend over a curve. And we say 23% is a big margin for the glow to be wrong. But they don't come to any conclusions. He did say 23%, didn't he? I think he did.
Right. Don't do any of that anymore. That's where you're getting into trouble with me. What you should have recognised was how flat your linear distances that you appealed to were, because that's what's actually been measured of Earth. Now, if you want to go out and measure those, what are you going to appeal to if you're going to suggest that there's a drop? Oh, you're still going to require the axiomatic principle of miles bilinear for you to derive a drop from it. What, like a squared function? Yeah, you will absolutely, without question, require miles to be flat and the distance in linear format being measured in a straight line for, quote, actual distance. So we know how flat Earth has been measured. We've got actual distances. And if there's drop, we've surveyed that too. It's perpendicular to the sea level you keep appealing to. Earth's been measured flat. So you can sit there and say, oh, I did really well with my 11% differential. Num, 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 num.
Oh, it's 11%.
Decided to do is I'm going to do another measurement of the Earth size.
You didn't do it the first time. Another measurement. My God. Fart sniffers.
In a follow-on video using a much more accurate method.
Right, what method would that be? Will it also appeal to linear distance values? Let's see.
I'm going to use a sextant, if you know what one of those is.
Oh, really? What, you're going to measure with respect to a horizontal baseline and elevation angle? Is that what you're going to do? Yeah, that's how a sextant works. It's a flat Earth only tool of measuring angles with respect to the surface if you're using it for altitude. Alternatively, you can change that angle measurement into degrees of azimuth and measure in the horizontal with the same tool, but all of which will require either a flat plane for horizontality or a perpendicular altitude angle acquisition from a plane. It's tied at the hip. That's to say, altitude is with respect to a surface level when using a sextant. So given that it's in the same video, I'm going to count it as another one. That's elevation angle measurement. So that's 13 flat measurements in one video.
And the North Star. And that should give me a much more...
North Star, you say? Oh dear. So we're going to be deriving latitude. Now, he hasn't mentioned it explicitly, but I could count that as 14.
Accurate and therefore conclusive measurements of the Earth's size.
What, when you derive elevation angles off a flat plane to Polaris? That'll just be a flat Earth measurement of a planar surface with angles. The baseline being the 0 degree that the angle to the star will be described with when you give it a degree measurement. It's almost like that degree when measuring with Polaris is from an equatorial plane with a globe Earth wrapped round you with you in hell. It's almost like the globe Earth's a glorified protractor, where you measure Earth flat for degrees of latitude and then superimpose them onto the protractor that you measured it with. Yeah, that's all a sextant is, by the way, a glorified protractor used for measuring elevation angles in this instance. To Polaris. To form the latitude
or
system
any other star.
off a flat Earth.
But anyway, I actually had a lot of fun going down and filming this video.
Really, I'd rather be nailing my wife than going down to a beach and calibrating a tool at 0. But, you know, no accounting for taste when you're a dweeb.
And saw some lovely scenery on the way.
Did you really? How very interesting. You went and measured the Earth from sea level. Flat. That's what you did. I'm glad you had fun. You measured Earth flat.
Hope you enjoyed watching it. So
not especially, I've got to be honest, right? It was quite irritating how dumb you were. That's my main bugbear, that you used at least 10, let's just say, to be generous, at least 10 flat Earth measurements in your description and suggestion that you won't go to Wiki to just get the value. And then you go and get the value from Wiki for your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculations that you claimed you were in a variant with when you've already got an R value to base it all on. I mean, that to me was just disappointingly ignorant. So, yeah, I mean, it was something to respond to on my channel. I will plug yours and suggest my audience goes to you and shares in the love of making YouTube videos. But from an accuracy point of view, you whistled past at least 10 flat Earth measurements. At least. And then said to get greater degrees of accuracy, no pun intended, you're going to measure the flat Earth degree from surface level of a star in the north, called Polaris. To be more accurate, you're going to measure angles off a flat plane. Okay, that's irritating, because you're suggesting this proves a ball. Ludicrous, ignorant garbage that uses flat Earth measurements. That's my opinion on the matter. Anybody else got any opinions on the matter?
In summary, he was supposed to be measuring the curve. We got 10 flat Earth measurements and 0 curve.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
How is this video useful?
It shows that people can very easily appeal to the boilerplate rhetoric that Earth has a distance to horizon calculation at 1.22 times the square root of the observer's measured height of a flat Earth. So after you acquire your height of a flat Earth, 1.22 times the square root of the observer's height in feet will give you a distance to a geometric horizon below surface level when acquiring a depression angle from parallel eye level. That's what it means. Boilerplate garbage repeated ad nausea by people who think that they can sniff their own farts as a result of using this garbage boilerplate nonsense.
This is to be continued. That's all for this video. See you next time.
Oh, is Jeremy on yet?
Wow, this looks very different to the side profile view that we got earlier when we could see man in stick format on the left-hand side, lighthouse on the right-hand side, and a preordained wiki-acquired radial value with a bent at 7/6 of the radius line that somehow we can see. Because generally I seem to spend quite a lot of my days looking at what I'm looking at side on with a little line drawn with an assumed tangent-based radial value in tow. Oh, no, actually, it's more like this that I see, generally speaking, when I look out with my eyeballs and don't assume a radial value from Wikipedia. This is what I tend to get. This is a lot more accurate when we take into account angular resolution limits that are ignored in mathematics that are derived from flat Earth. Elevation angles to Polaris for radial values. But there we go. There's no accounting for ignorance and stupidity.
Well, that's the trick, Nathan. This is how we see. But then, of course, they go to their cartoon pictures and diagrams, make a curve, put the lighthouse, and put you with that curve in between and tell you this is how you see.
That's funny. It's obvious as hell, isn't it, Gus?
Exactly how you have it on screen now.
Yeah, in the thumbnail.
We actually see the way we see.
Yeah, in the thumbnail, we've got the target on the left. I mean, it's so far away that we can't really see the little stick man. We have to zoom in to see that. But nevertheless, we're seeing the side of our own head from approximately, by the scale of this orthographic nonsense mathematical derivation of a flat Earth measured radial value, I don't know, 3,000 miles away from the observation.
Okay, now you can see it's actually changed in the vertical too. That happens. It's on the horizon. There's a bottom to it there. You can see. Now, if you get the, like Tinfoil Hat Man did, get that telescope out, zoom in on it. What did you see in that video? Ding! You saw the whole damn thing. Level gate. It's not a gate. These are just facts. Beautiful though, isn't it? Yeah.
And what do you know? The lighthouse is absolutely enormous. I mean, by scale, it would be the, fifth 500-mile high lighthouse. And that's because it hijacks perspective. There is no perspective in an orthographic representation as diagrammatically exampled here. So it doesn't matter if he shows a massive lighthouse. It's not like it looks like what's actually on screen. Yeah, it's a tiny little dot in the distance, because hashtag shit shrinks, although I didn't require or wasn't needed, it wasn't incumbent on me to do so, but explained with angular resolution limits. That's not what I have to do. It's not my burden to prove why there's a tiny little dot in the distance. Why isn't it a massive side profile view? Who gives a crap? We got the side profile view by measuring a flat Earth to get an R value to calculate into existence sphericity when we ignore perspective and punch flat Earth distance measurements and flat Earth altitudes into a calculation based on the flat Earth derived radial value.
That's highway robbery.
Well, nicking flat Earth measurements to suggest sphericity.
Yeah, I mean, they just stripped us of everything and said, okay, it's a ball.
Well, what I've done is I have put in the chat, the live stream chat, a link to this guy's video.
Between the light and the bottom.
Go and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 he sent me with a polite message that doesn't immediately get removed by the YouTube algorithmic bots or indeed by the videographer himself. So you can probably see that going by in the stream. So obviously if you're watching after the fact, that's to say you're not watching live, then please toddle along to that videographer and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me with a nice polite comment. The video...
That was a nice breakdown of some bullshit, wasn't it? The guy's like, well, you know, it's 11% off from what I thought I was. Yeah, that's exactly where it's supposed to be. You go out there tomorrow, I'll be in the same damn spot. Depending on the weather conditions, like there is light only goes so far, but that has nothing to do with the distance. Weather conditions has nothing to do with the measurement itself. Now, the visibility of the light, yeah, it does. They can actually even turn the light up on those things. Nathan's doing a hell of a job, dude. Gotta give him that. great show, wasn't it? Yeah, I was about to nod off there for a minute. Working mornings, I got to acclimate to it. I'm going to be doing that like maybe twice a week now. But I want to show you my verification page right quick. I got verified. I'm now officially a YouTuber. Whatever that means. I got verified. Looky. Boom. I've been identified. Everything. That's the Advent channel. Or the Advent page. That's why how you verify it. Make sure you're a legitimate person. Crazy, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But they won't like these kind of breakdowns and stuff because they rely on the curve math to make up for all the angular resolution. You got to do any of it, dude. Oh snap! The plague. Where's the plague at? I don't know what plague. Is there a plague going on? Hey guys, go over to Justin's link there. That's Jeremy's. Is he doing a trivia thing? Be prepared to type fast. Yeah, so the whole thing's convoluted. Yes, sir. I feel like a somebody. I'm gonna write that down. Thanks, Nathan, for a great summary of all the shit you're actually seeing compared to what they're trying to show you. This is what's actually happening in the cartoon. No, it's not. Just the distance to the thing is further. Angular size is changing. You should have got out a telescope or binoculars. Show us the curve, man. The hump of water you can see there in between. And this is why Bev is so dishonest, man, because he knows better. I wish he would just come clean, instead of keep playing the role they're playing. I'm going to go over to Jeremy's. I'm going to get out of here. Isab's going to be on later too, isn't he? I think. It's Saturday, right? He usually is on. And my fundraiser one more time, just for the amount sake. David, you can look at this yourself. It doesn't match that math you had on your thumbnail last night. This is what I actually got in donations right there. Nothing else, nothing less. Pretty simple. I want to reiterate it to you. Well, it spit me out, bastard. Restream. Gotta love it. I got other windows opening up too. Then I restarted it. I gotta shut those down. It's slowing me down. I don't know if you can hear me right now. Give it a second. It'll catch up with itself. Tick, 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 tick. There you go. It's catching up. Now Bing's opening. Like I need it open too. Can you guys hear me? I shut down all the new windows that open up every time it does this. That's a good one, Super. Let me toggle this thing. Got to shut it down anyways. Can't leave the stream up and running. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. That was a great job, Nathan, pointing out the bullshit. Some people can't comprehend it. I get it. Let's play out with a song. Let's see. Ooh. Doo-doo-doo. I think I got one. All right, guys, I'm out of here. See you, Justin's. Some very important people on that picture.
And we're going to have to come to the grips with the fact that they told us exactly what they were going to do. They wrote a document called the Project for a New American Century.
Don't ever say I didn't warn you.
I better hurry up and get over there.
That's about all one can do. Many things teachers say. The opposite is probably true. But every day, their grip is getting stronger. We must not prune the tree of evil any longer. Every day, the tyrant's getting closer. Will you sit back and watch, or do what you're supposed to? What can I get with 2.3 trillion? When does a citizen become a civilian? When did the heroes morph into the villains? How can two planes powderize 3 buildings? These are questions that could get you murked, politically, socially, physically put into the dirt. Many swear that there's some kind of conflict of interest within. The conflict depends upon what you're interested in. You can chant 9/11 was an inside job all day until you say the Mossad and pay closer attention to Flight 175 and the odd cylindrical pod beneath the fuselage. Then it's 2 + 2 level addition after you factor in the flight termination systems. Then flash back to the cash the good rabbi stole, September 10th style, right down the rabbit hole. What can I get with 2.3? You can get unlimited corporate news. What can I get with 2.3? You can have any mercenaries you choose. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can steal a couple million souls. What can I get with 2.3? You can get everything everything under control. The missile they hit the Pentagon with was not an act of randomness. It murdered accountants, bookkeepers, and budget analysts. That side of the building was retrofitted prior to this to withstand bomb blast, a nickname to catch his Mick. If that don't give you some kind of clue why they glue the mortar, maybe you should take some medication for your new disorder. If buildings are burning, don't ever trust a news reporter with 267 stories of gruesome slaughter. Don't ever mention Dov Zakim and trillion stolen, much less missile-equipped Boeings, even remote controlling. With System Planning Corporation International, the folks to see if you got some buildings you like to crash into. But that's impossible without the proper capital. That's why I'm asking you what you would do with unimaginable wealth. So much money you can't delve in it. Enough to buy 10 presidents and 12 senates. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can get unlimited corporate news. That's right. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can have any mercenaries you choose all night. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can steal a couple million souls. Indeed. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? You can get everything under control. Now that's greed. What can I get? What can I get? With 2.3 trillion. What can I get? What can I get with 2.3 trillion? What can I get with 2.3 trillion? What can I get?
You know, it took me about a year to start hating the 9/11 victims' families. It took me about a year. And I had such compassion for them, and I really, I wanted to help them.
That's about a millionth of what you can get with 2.3 trillion. Some clown named Glenn Beck fucking with a Pentagon talking point of how he hates the 9/11 victims' families. But that didn't roll over too well, did it, Glenn? They're well aware they can no longer create a consensus as effectively as they used to. So they parade some other clown on the other side of the spectrum named Geraldo to tacitly give 9/11 truth a 6-minute segment semblance of credence, as if we didn't have that 9 years ago, dummy. The system is designed to make you think anything is funny. Pretty soon you won't be able to buy anything with your monopoly money, dummy. What can I get with 2.3 trillion? 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 2.3 trillion.